We are live. Thank you very much for joining Bricking with Friends at the account of FabBlondies. And as you can see, many fabulous people here. None of us is blonde.
I was born blonde. Does that
Same
count?
here. I was born blonde.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We have natural blondes.
Yeah, I used to be blonde.
That's incredible.
Now I'm
Blonde
mousy
hair,
brown.
blue eyes.
I get grey. I'm not really sure if that counts.
So grey is a very light blonde.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, let's see. Oh, we have Emily with us. Hi,
Hey,
Ems.
Emily.
How are you
Ems.
doing? I hope you have a fabulous time. How are we doing today?
I think Emily said not long ago that she's planning to get Nightmare Before Christmas set.
That's amazing.
That is
such a good set. Such a good set.
It is.
Wow. Yeah.
Best to get it if there's a couple of GWPs on offer, because I know at the end of October there might be a few. Sometimes there usually isn't there? Especially Halloween.
Yeah. There is, yeah. They normally have the they sometimes have a poly bag and sometimes they have a gift of purchase. Even if they don't, they normally offer one of the Halloween sets as a gift of purchase. So if you're gonna buy a big purchase, wait for gift of purchases or double insider points.
That's
I
right.
always try to get more for your money rather than just buying it with nothing. That's why I'm holding off in Jarjaga City markets. When double VIP comes in, or we get really good gift for purchases threshold, then I'll buy it.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Because I'm in the hunt for that set, and it's a Smith's exclusive. However, they're out of stock everywhere at the moment, so it might be done now. It might be the only place you can get it is Lego.
Right.
I know Smith sometimes has it on
Darn. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? They'll only have a finite stock.
Right. Fab isn't well today, but she will be with us next week. Yeah. So no worries. She's well. She's rather well, but not as well enough to be with us. We didn't kill her.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
If she's off now for the next 2 or 3 Sundays, it's going to get very worrying.
Right. Well, I will be off for the next week's as well. So it would look like I killed Fab and now I'm on the run. Don't tell the Fabs where I am. Right? Okay. Manhunt going on. Lady hunt in Germany. Oh my goodness. Right.
Let's not spread the rumor. That rumor's
Yeah.
this is fine.
Right.
She's just not well.
Yeah.
Fab's probably got a lot of direct messages now on Instagram. Hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Blink twice.
Hashtag killed by a lady. Oh my goodness. I think I will continue to the bit of the brickheads.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm really getting into brickheads again. Yeah. I thought of cutting back on Lego, and my brilliant idea. No. And even if every sane person would cut back at the big purchases. No. I keep on buying Barradur and things like that. I stop buying brickheads and speed champions. And then I can tell, well, they released 30 odd sets, which I did not buy. That has saved me then overall $100. Instead, I bought the modular and Malcolm Manor and spending €3,000 and.
You've bought Malfoy Manor. It's not even out yet.
No. Yeah,
I was going to say. You're the only person on planet Earth who's got it.
Let me show
If
you
got
something.
it, show me, please.
Yeah. Well, if you spot it back there, I built it and now I put it in place and waiting for someone to spot it. No,
No, I can't see
yeah.
it.
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't.
Yeah, you won't have you.
Yeah. But that would raise viewership now. I already
God, yeah.
have it and I built
Yeah.
it. If you can see it, it's there. You just have to watch long enough and hard enough and go back and watch it again until you see it.
Wow. We had
Oh,
news. We had news not long ago. Wow, it's not spread yet, but there is a massive set being revealed on Tuesday.
ooh.
I told Martin because it's a set we're both looking forward to.
Is it a Sonic one?
No.
No. If there was a Sonic one, I'd know about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's the sail barge.
Oh,
Ooh,
that is
that's
exciting.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah.
And Unibricks, who is sort of like does what Brick Clicker does, sort of thing. Like showed us what the minifigures look like in that, and we're actually going to get a slave layer.
Well, they're actually doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be Hut
Oh.
Slayer layer. The minifigure is going to be called Hut Slayer layer.
Yeah.
So yeah, got
They
the
call
bikini
it
and everything.
hot.
Hut Slayer.
Hut Slayer layer, not hot.
Jabba the Hutt.
Oh,
Slayer.
I thought, okay, she has the bikini on and everything, glamorous, sexy, and Lego actually calls her hot layer, and I thought,
Oh,
okay,
hot. You
that
thought it was Hot Slayer Leia.
Yeah.
I thought that's a name.
No.
Maybe that's going to be her nickname.
Yeah. So they got the bikini. She's got the bikini. Yeah, they've gone through with it, which is great. And to be honest, I kind of thought they might do that because I think she appears like that in the game. I do think that's so. Yeah, I'm glad they've done that. It's film accuracy, isn't it?
Well, this is it. And if they wouldn't have done it, if they would have, redesigned it to be more in line, it would be like, well, then you're not paying respect to the movie because you're not even going to, whether you like it or not, whether they agree with it, their values or not, it was part of the movie. And Disney owned that movie. Therefore, it is part of the canon. You can't not do it.
I thought they might have done Bouche Leia, when she dresses, she got the helmet on, she goes into Jabba's palace. I thought they might have done that. But there was rumors for many months that they were going to do that. And we've actually seen it. It looks amazing.
And everyone wants the bikini one.
Yeah, but if you think about it, we've got Ariel and other, mermaids. And let's be fair, Ariel as a mermaid, pretty much a bikini top of shells. So it's not as if we haven't seen a lot of skin on show in Lego.
Right.
If they do it right, they do it right.
Right. And sometimes they do it without talking about it. I remember when I bought the stunt set, the bathtub one.
No one knew, did they? No one knew that there was a huge back tattoo of the ducks.
Yeah. That's so cool. Oh. Yeah. Oh, Eric, welcome in. Thank you very much for joining us. Lego Cache, that is always good. And now a fun haul set, Mountain Cabin. I don't think I know it.
Oh, the Mountain Cabin. Yeah, I know that one. It's lovely. Really nice one. The fun haul sets are really good. I love that they're going in original directions as well.
Yeah.
So they're designing sets that could go alongside sets we may have got with other brands like Lego.
Yeah.
But they're not doing direct. So they're not taking, something and then making a direct version of it. So it's something that can accompany it rather than something that's looking like it. It's really nice. The Mountain Cabin is lovely, and the way it's put together as well, it's really good.
That is
incredible. I think the rooftop can. There's a design in it that makes it so you can access the inside.
Yeah.
If I remember from the pictures.
Are fun haul sets closed? Because the other day I saw a kind of review about it. It was just a short one, just a few clips. And one of them was the set on a turntable. And it turned around and it didn't have a back wall. And I thought, that's interesting.
I think it depends. I think I've seen ones that they are. and I've seen ones that they design it so that there's a portion that can come off so that you can access the inside of it as well. So they design it like they might have like a rooftop that lifts up so that you can see inside, or the wall panel, the whole wall comes away so that you can access the inside, but it's closed up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But they have to. I suppose they have to be careful as well, because with the Funhole sets, they've got lighting in them. So if they're not using the contactless lighting, which uses the I think it's like copper pads to make contact, because I don't know which lighting company do it, but they launched it with modulars where you've got this it looks like a tile, but I think it's actually its own piece, and it has 2 copper contacts, and then there's the set above that have 2 copper contacts. Then when you place them down and they touch one another, it makes contact and sends the light signal to the next floor up. So it's compatible with modulars and keeps it all enclosed. But I don't think that, to my knowledge, I mean, I don't have much knowledge of Funhole sets, whether they've factored that in or not, or whether it's just all wired in one and it's just got a removable section. But I think most of them have sections that you can remove to access the inside for play.
That is interesting. Very cool.
They're really good. Like the fact that you get it all in one. And the reviews that say the build quality is just as good. I mean, for me, they're not for me. I just stick with Lego. Like it's just, I have nothing against alternative brands at all, but for me, I just like to use Lego to build with.
Right. I have not much experience either. I have a couple of Kobe sets, but never built them. I have one Mega set, but haven't built that either. The only thing that I bought and built is Star Trek from Blue Bricks. Because I don't have really the space to go into other brands. And to be honest, in the past, I did not really want to get into it, whether the brand is legit or not. Is it a stolen design or not? And with Blue Bricks, I did not want to go into the hassle. And with Blue Bricks and Star Trek, they have the license. And I thought, okay, if I ever want to check it out, at least I know when they put the name Star Trek on it, and I know by now they are legit and they have definitely the license. But I thought, okay, Star Trek would go after them so fast, and they are really legit, and that was a joy to build.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we find now is, with experience and knowledge of being in the space and years going into the space, you gain respect and so whereas before we would have said Lego, no, not interested in anything else. Like you almost get a closed mindset. And I know during lockdown it was very much closed mindset, not interested. If you mentioned a third-party base plate, oh my goodness me. But I think now people are warming to the fact that as long as now we have to stipulate there are 2 very different categories here when you're not talking about Lego. You have alternative brands that have original IPs that are not trying to be a Lego set, not pretending to be a Lego set. And then you've got the brands that are ripping the IP themes off directly, or they're stealing the designs of the sets completely. Now, you can have a company that does that, and the bricks could be amazing quality, but that design doesn't belong to them. So therefore, to me, those are the companies that I would steer clear of, because that is, it's a fake, because they're professing to, they can call it what they want, but it's not their design. Ultimately, the Lego designers have designed that. The IP or the property is Legos. Therefore, if they steal that design and use it and call it, instead of Assembly Square, they call it, Construction Corner, it doesn't matter. It is still a design stolen. And that to me is a no-no.
I don't like it. I don't like when you get these companies that you can clearly see they use Lego images. It look like you get these companies that, you know, look. If I look at a Harry Potter set, for example, it looks exactly like how Lego. It's on exactly the same as their website.
Exactly. Those are no-nos to me.
Yeah. The only the distinction I make is if it's not something like Harry Potter or Star Wars, it is someone built Big Ben from London, the building, and then the other company does it too. They are bound to look exactly the same because they are striving to look like Big Ben, and so it's
exactly. When you're taking a landmark, something that exists in real life that Lego have taken inspiration for to build, and another company taking inspiration for build, that to me, in my view, is different.
Right.
Unless that specifically part for part has been ripped off from the original build.
Yeah. Right.
Then, you know, if it's a different scale, it's different design, use the different pieces, whatever. It's a landmark. You know, you can't really put a patent on a landmark. Someone could design what they want. But if you were taking a set such as a modular, and the modulars are classic examples because there are third-party brands that are stealing the designs of Lego and advertising it as a another version of it. So instead of having like the corner garage, it would be like, you know, saying it's the corner workshop, and then it looks exactly the same, and you can just see it's the same instructions, same everything. That is a no to me, because at the end of the day, you're stealing someone's intellectual property. Those designers, the creative designers, the sticker, and the designers who have designed all of that process are having their things taken away, and Lego's having it stolen away from them.
How do you feel about? Oh no, go on.
Then on the flip side, you've got the alternative brands which are doing something new, and they're getting representation now. So you've got Funhole, Blue Bricks. You know, there are several different companies that are focusing on the fan base that is clearly being established by Lego. Creating their own concepts. When I say own concepts, that comes with a preface, because sometimes we find that previous Lego idea submissions that get rejected get sold onto these and then are made into sets and sold for them. That to me is fine. At the end of the day, if it doesn't belong to Lego anymore, Lego didn't make it, Lego went, nope, not interested, it's fair game. Someone takes it and makes it, providing it has been done legitimately. They haven't just stolen it and selling it on AliExpress. So it's kind of like, it's a bit of a minefield really, but providing it's done in the right way, it's done where the original designer is getting the creative credit for it, whatever, you know, monetary or recognition that they would get from Lego, they're getting something equivalent with this, whether it's a percentage of the set or a one-off, you know, money incentive to buy it off of them. As long as that's been done and that person has had that, you know, that compensation paid to them for that, then that's fine. Again, in my opinion, the issue lies is when you are trying to blatantly rip something off that doesn't belong to you. That is the no area for me. Even if that brand is the best thing since sliced cheese, I don't care. If you are taking something that doesn't belong to you and professing it is yours, that is not right.
How do you feel about Harry Potter as a theme, and someone builds something not at all looking like Lego at all, like Weasley's Wizard Shop? They do not call it that. They call it Wizardry Shop. You clearly see the but not the building itself does not look like Lego. It's huge. It's really fancy. It's enclosed and it's big and it's everything that you could ever dream of, and nothing like the one that Lego. They just run with it, and you can, if with a bit of fantasy, you can see, okay, it's dedicated to and it's called something Wizardry Shop, but not making any assumption to really Harry Potter. Just
no, it's not the real thing. I'm just completely faithful to Lego. I think Lego pieces are of the highest quality. I think they're better than anything else out there.
Yeah.
I heard that when it comes to pieces, there are other producers who, in quality, are really catching up with Lego.
I would say it for me it leans back to the IP.
Yeah.
If something
Okay.
is inspired by Harry Potter,
Yeah.
and the build is clearly being designed on Harry Potter, then I don't care. I'm going to stick with Harry. Even if we never got it, I'd rather build one myself out of Lego and not pretend it's called, Barry Trotter or whatever.
Yeah.
It is my design. I'm not selling it. I'm not professing to sell it. And that for me, if there doesn't exist something in Lego that I think needs to be added in, that's where I can come in and make it myself, rather than buy brands one, put it in Diagon Alley and say, "There's the shop I've always wanted."
Yeah, right.
For me, that's not. I wouldn't do that. Now, if someone chooses to do that, I'm free. Like at the end of the day, it's your money, your thing. I'm not going to say that's awful. Like, don't do that. It's not for me.
Right.
If Lego own an IP, I'm a fan of that IP. I'm going to stick to the IP.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's the designers that behind the scenes take years to produce this. They work with the IP producers. You're going to get the most faithful recreation of it. They've worked directly with the IP themselves.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the proper characters, proper minifigs, proper printing. It's going to be 100% compatible. And that to me is enough to say, if it doesn't exist in Lego, I'll either wait for it to exist in Lego or make something myself.
Yeah, my thoughts entirely. It's like the Burrow here. That's been in development for 2 years. So much love and attention has gone to it. And it's the real deal. It's got the Wisdom World logo on. I gotta have the real thing. I can't have Barry Trotter.
Exactly. Right. And again, nothing against. I haven't got anything against it, but I think if you're trying to loosely get inspired to build something from that's inspired by Harry Potter, and clearly been inspired by Harry Potter, and it's inspired by wizards, then it's like, to me, that's borderline doing no different to if Funhole decided to off.
Right. I just thought it's some things are really, really clear. If you see the Burrow and someone takes exactly the same set and just puts their name on it, that's stealing. And then there is something that you think to yourself, okay, it's not related to Lego. They do not call it Star Wars. They do not call it Harry Potter. Or, for example, I saw once that someone sold as a set something that exactly looked like the Death Star from the basic structure. But instead of Death Star, Star Wars, they dedicated it to Friends-style sceneries and to Disney sceneries. So they still did not call it Friends and they still did not call it Disney, but you saw and I thought, okay, they're mashing up two things. You can see this Death Star. Now it's colorful, and now there are sceneries underwater, and I thought it's totally new. But is that now stealing? Is that now it gets gray?
It's going to be the area. It goes back to if you design something. Let's say that you released a book.
Yeah.
And you were so proud of that book, and that book was it took you 15 years from concept to release of that book. You're very proud of it. It's your baby. Everything in that book is come from you, and suddenly you're in talks with Lego. Like Lego have seen your book and they want to produce things to it, and you've got that with Lego, but Lego have only said that they can do X number and it misses a section. And then a third party decides, well, I'm just going to make that section and complete it. To me, it's like, that is, if I was in that position, I'd be like, no, that's still infringing on clearly the copyright. You are dancing around the area, because loosely inspired is completely different to blatantly ripping off. I get that. However, it's a case of true fans will want to support the original IP.
Yeah.
True fans are going to want to support, because obviously, you know, Harry Potter and who owns them? Is it Warner Brothers that own Harry Potter? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So if, you know, you're supporting them, so if they're if they're gonna make more content for Harry Potter, you need to buy Harry Potter. If it doesn't sell, they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
So if you're supporting someone's design instead of the original, are you not hurting that brand too?
Right.
So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Right.
Tell you what, we're all wearing blue.
Yeah.
I only have 2 blue t-shirts. I wore one yesterday and I wore one today.
Yeah. Percy Weasley's joining the party.
Oh,
that's
so
so cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, go on, Nicole.
Can you show Ems the Burrow so far?
Okay.
Unless it's too big.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
If you want to break it, let us know so that we can clip it.
I don't want to see Chris cry if this drops.
Don't jinx anything. This is the front. Obviously, I'm just finishing off the back of the Burrow. That's it so far. You know, and I'm just going to do this because it's droppable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
very
that.
cool. Yeah.
But I just realised that because this is based on the Chamber of Secrets, the pig pen isn't at the front of the house, but you've got the option to swap it out with the section that goes at the side. But the pig pen in Half-Blood Prince is at the side of the building. So if this is based on Chamber of Secrets, which it is, pig pen's in the wrong place. But you can just you can just switch it out. You know, you can do that.
Yeah.
And so I put the pig pen at the front because I want it to be based on Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
Maybe it's in order for the pigs to be out of harm's way when the fighting starts. So
yeah.
So they're not bacon.
Right.
But I need to go and get a second Ford Anglia because it needs a Ford Anglia as well. But when they arrive, no spoilers, but because obviously I know some people haven't watched it, but it's a scene where the Ford Anglia arrives and it's right in front of the pig pen.
And it's on offer at the moment, Chris, so it's justifiable. It's about a tenner now. So
I know I'll be picking it up. Yeah, I've already got it, but the Ford Anglia appears in various scenes, so I'm just going to get it for the car.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Goodness.
So I've just seen
everyone wears blue. TJ wears blue. Ems wears blue. It's
Percy Weasley wearing blue.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So one of the things that I've been doing, because obviously I built the Owry. There it is. It's up there.
Yeah.
So it's Pride and Joy on the top shelf because it's too tall for the other shelves. So it's up there. I've still got the figures next to me because I want to pose them in there. But one of the things that I did pick up today while shopping is this.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So the UK's got the tins back.
TJ,
so yeah. So the 2 figures that are in it, and I love the colours of the figures as well. And I've just seen TJ's here. So it's these 2 figures here.
Every minifigure in Ninjago Designs is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every minifigure. There's scarcely any average-looking minifigures.
Yeah. And two figs as well on the magazine. It's so cool. But it's so cool to see a figure in dark earth blue. Like that's such a cool color, and this hood piece as well. Just think about what you could use that for.
Yeah.
Like I see the figures and I see like all the blue pieces and what you can use them for. So yeah, this tin's super awesome. I haven't got all of them, but I have got that one. And then the other thing that I'm going to be building on the stream is my Dreams poly bag.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
I don't have anything else Harry Potter, or I'd have built it. I built it all on stream.
Yeah.
all of my backlog of Harry Potter's gone now.
How would you feel being in Hufflepuff, Mark? It's been a couple of hours. You've been sorted.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think with everyone kind of knowing what house I was going to be in before I knew which one I was in, that was funny. That everyone knew before. Everyone's just like Hufflepuff, Hufflepuff, and I was like, well, I might not be, but obviously, yeah, it turned out I was. It's cool. Like now I know. When I'm looking into things, I could be like, oh, that's Hufflepuff. That's me. I'm in Hufflepuff. So
next, you need to because it gives you the opportunity to choose your Patronus. You know what I mean by Patronus? It's like a creature.
Yeah.
That goes against the Dementors, and you can find out what your Patronus is. That's the next bit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I'll definitely find out what my Patronus is as well. Hopefully it's something cool. I mean, I did say that I would take a cat to Hogwarts with me, because why would I not?
Yeah, you don't want a fruit fly or something like that.
No, I'll take a cat. Exactly. But no, it was cool. Redmond teasing again. Yes, I've got fellow Hufflepuffs. Fab is a Hufflepuff too, and Mike is too. That's cool.
Do you know when the new Dreams magazine will be out?
I think all the magazines get released the same time each month, and I think it's around the beginning of the month they normally get renewed.
Yeah.
Certainly from the Friends one does, but the builds have all been crap in them for months now. Sadly, it's just like just some of them even go back to Friends before Friends was rebooted. Yeah. They're really bad. Like they've run out of ideas. They're just rehashing old ones. There's a Technic mag that is now out that you can buy. That's got a Technic set to build on it, which still makes me laugh to this day. I haven't seen anybody that's bought it. No hate on Technic, but I don't think people are wanting to buy Technic magazines. And the Minecraft one is always the one that is really cool.
Yeah.
I saw a leak today at one of the magazines, Marvel. I think it might be the next edition or next month, and that will have a venomized Green Goblin, which is exclusive to one set. Because I think they made these like 4+ sets, and they had like venomized different characters, and I think that's the next. I mean, it's a minifigure. It's decent, so that's going to be available as well.
The Marvel mag this month is Rocket Raccoon.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah, so you can pick up Rocket Raccoon from the third film's wave. So you can pick up Peter Quill and Groot in the little box, the little tiny box set, which is like £9. And I think that Groot, I don't know if it's the same Groot that's in the little spaceship with the baby. I don't know if that rocket is the same rocket as the one in the spaceship with the baby rocket in.
That's right.
It's a cool thing to have, though. It is, yeah. It's a cool thing to have. Which is and the figs are nice. Like, I think that they're a cool pickup. Although their magazines are getting very expensive because they know that the magazines are now approaching £6, and you got to think £6 for a figure or £20 for the set that's got the figure in.
That's right.
Yeah.
You do have to be careful because sometimes you are not getting a good deal. But Dreams Mag was good, and I think they come out every month at the beginning of the month in answer to things.
Yeah, very cool. Hi, KO, and hello, Martin.
Hello.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Well, how's you in, Nicole? Are you you're not done it yet?
I haven't done it yet.
It's fun. It is fun, especially when you do it live. Do it live because then people can guess what you're going to be. That's
right. I wonder what people really think, because I just decided I'm as Nicole, I'm Gryffindor, and Lady McBrick, she clearly is Slytherin.
You can't try and trick the Sorting Hat either. The Sorting Hat knows. If you try and fabricate your answers, no.
Yeah, because some people try and answer. So let's say they've got a preferred house. Sometimes they try and answer the questions that they think is that will lead you to being sorted in that hat, in that house. So yeah, especially if you know Harry Potter inside out, you know, if I answer this and then I keep doing that, it could actually lead me to being in the house I want to be in.
Yeah. And the thing is, if that does happen, what's the point of doing the test? You might as well just say that you're that. It kind of defeats the point of doing it. Like, the whole point is that I know everyone was saying, "Oh, you're probably going to be Hufflepuff," and it was like, okay, I'll just try it anyway. Like, and if it is, it is.
Yeah. How would you have to answer the questions in order to be in Slytherin?
But the thing is, if you're having to fabricate the answers, look up the answers, then there's no point doing the test because the test is a reflection of you. So it's like I wouldn't bother doing a test if I was going to fabricate it. I just wouldn't bother doing it. I just say, no, do you know what? I'm Slytherin.
Right.
Because if you didn't tell anyone, no one would know. They'd know your characteristics. Like, you don't have any Slytherin tendencies. You don't seem Slytherin. But,
Oh, feel better, Liz.
Yeah, I was going to say, Martin. Yeah, you're seeing the Jonas Brothers.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Oh.
Yeah,
because they're doing all of their back library. I think they're doing all of them. Although one of the, I don't know too much, but I think one of the brothers didn't. The other two did stuff, and then one didn't. And then they're doing the back catalogues of them as a group. Then the two that went off and did stuff, but then one went to another band and. So from what I could read, it sounds like they're doing a bit of everything with it, which is cool. So it's fans of everyone gets to enjoy it. That's really cool, though. Very cool.
That is another. Not faking the test. You just take the test as many times as it takes until the test gives up and puts you in the house that you want to be in.
Oh, you can't do that. Although you could actually just not do the test and just decide what you're going to be, because in the very first one, it's a bit of a spoiler. Sorry if this is it's not much of a spoiler. It's just Harry Potter asks the Sorting Hat. Well, he doesn't ask for being a Gryffindor. I don't think. I can't remember now. But he says not Slytherin. So he doesn't want to be in the same house as Draco.
Yeah.
So he might not necessarily put you in the house you want to be in. Even though you can, because it does say in the films and the books, if you do ask the Sorting Hat, you can go into that house, but it definitely won't put you in a house that you don't want to be in. So you could just say, right, I want to be in this house. I'll just say that I am.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you weren't in the ceremony, if you weren't present for the ceremony when a Sorting Hat decided what house you're in, and you just said to someone, I'm in this, what's to stop them from knowing if you are or not?
Yeah. I can't remember if there's anybody in the books that actually switches houses during their time at Hogwarts. I don't think there is.
Because I suppose, that's an interesting one, because I suppose as you grow and develop as a student, your kind of view on things and tendencies might switch to the point where you may demonstrate different characteristics. So that would be an interesting. Maybe they'll explore that in the expanded.
I think so.
Yeah.
That happens in actual schools, Muggle schools.
Right. Or maybe the sorting hat has inside knowledge. It can see into the future.
Maybe it can be bribed.
Yeah. Oh.
Having done unconscious bias, one of the things you learn about is bribery. And you'll be surprised at how many people attempt bribery.
Yeah.
Subconsciously attempt bribery. It's just,
Right.
it's fascinating. It's fascinating. It really is fascinating to see how many people will. And you would think people would do it, but they do, and subconsciously they do it, and they don't think that it is bribery, but it is. So.
I mean, sometimes it's accepted. I'm not really sure. I think in Germany there is no such thing, but I think I saw it on either Big Bang or on Friends, that when you go to a restaurant and you are told you have to wait before until the tables are ready for you. So if you give the person money, you will get the table faster. It's kind of bribery, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a form of bribery, because essentially what you're doing is you are giving the person an incentive to put you ahead of other people. So it is a form of bribery. But in the sector that I was in, so in a HR type of thing, one of the things that I looked after was along with my team, was the holiday booking for the entirety of the branch of the place I was at.
Yeah.
So you had to be very careful, because of course you could incentivize unconsciously. Someone comes in and says, "Oh, it's great to see you. I've brought you this pack of cookies."
Yeah.
And then you see a request for leave from them at a time they can't have.
Yeah.
And suddenly you've accepted bribery unconsciously without realizing.
Right.
But you have to just embrace that and go, "Thank you for the stuff, but that doesn't mean you get a guaranteed X, Y, and Z."
Yeah.
Right.
But it definitely happens. Like, people do. It happens. You see it all the time, where people skip places in queues when they're waiting for like, they go to these expensive restaurants. You said about the tables. Oh, people 100% do it all the time.
Yeah.
We're just like, "Oh, we're really hungry. If I give you this, can we be bumped up?" And it's like,
yeah, how many times you've seen that in films?
Yeah. And what gives any more right to have that happen than the person? Is the person less hungry in front of you that was there well before you, has every right to be there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if they haven't booked a table reservation, they get there and then just bung the restaurant some money, and then they go straight to they somehow magically bring out a table.
Yeah.
Right.
And it makes me laugh as well. So those of you that know that I'm going away in a couple of days, when you go to an airport, the amount of times you see people going, "How much can I give you to give me a bump up to the next class?" And it's like, first of all, if you're asking someone how much it's going to cost to bump up, you're opening a can of worms there. Because first of all, you're not going to get bumped up to the next class. If you want to pay, there's a way you can pay. Otherwise, get back in line. Like, you can't. I've only ever been bumped up once in my life, and it was coming back from Japan. And I asked them afterwards. I asked them, what selection process do you do to essentially bump someone's ticket up a class? And they went, most of the time it's just a genuine person that's got a smile on their face. A genuine person. They said, you came to us with a smile on your face. You were really happy, really chatty.
That's nice.
And they said, that's the reason. That's the reason you were selected.
That's
not
good,
anything to do with your class, not anything to do with your ticket type. It was just the fact that you were polite and smiley. So But there are people that will try and slip money to flight attendants to get bumped to the empty seats at the front.
Yeah. I will try to smile when I fly to America.
Always, yeah. Always smile. You know, you have to remember the thousands of people that are going on holiday and all the stresses that go on in people's heads, and the amount of times that they've probably had the abuse from those people, that they're stressed. You know, they want to take the bag and the bag's too heavy, and the person's huffing and puffing, and it's like, but that's that person's job. They're not doing it to make your holiday the worst thing in the world ever.
Right.
They're literally doing their job. You know, be polite and accommodating to it best you can.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if your bag's overweight, your bag is overweight. It's not their fault.
Right.
So it's like things like that. And the first time I ever flew, I came back. It was in 2015. I came back via Italy, actually, and I was on Air Italia flight, and the flight attendant came past, and she saw I had nausea wristbands, because I have to wear them when I fly, because I suffer really badly from nausea. So and they're brilliant. They're like life-saving. They're the night and day difference. Even if it's placebo, I don't care, because it stops me from feeling ill. But a lady came up and asked me about them. One of the flight attendants, she came up to me and she said, "Oh my gosh, what is that? Can I ask?" And I explained it to her, and we got chatting, and there was this person that was clicking their fingers, and I went, "Why do you just accept the fact that someone's clicking their fingers? You're not a servant." She went, "The common misconception that people have about flight attendants is that we're there to serve people. We're not. Our role is the safety of the passengers, not to serve people. They do it because most of the time you're in your seat. Therefore, the in-flight entertainment is part of the service they do. But clicking your fingers like they're a servant is just rude.
Oh yeah,
so rude.
Yeah,
so rude. So yeah, my advice has always been, and I've done it ever since I've flown, is I have the utmost respect for any flight crew, because you know the amount of times they get spoken to like the dirt on the bottom of somebody's shoe by people. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. It's really sad, but yeah.
Why would you do that? Because you basically just need to treat other people like you want to be treated, and
100%. And we all have bad days. We all have that time where we feel, you know, utterly crappy. You don't want to interact with people, and then somebody does that one thing that just ticks that last bit and sends you over the edge. And it's about having the, you know, taking a breath and going, okay, I really don't need this, but that person doesn't. They didn't cause any of the stress that I'm in right now. But yeah, it's hard. But the thing is as well is it's all that it goes back to the bribery sort of thing again. Just being nice to people, and at the end of the day, a genuine person, if they want to move somebody, if they get the choice to say, okay, you can move somebody to the next class up, are they going to remember the person that was an a-hole, or are they going to remember the person that said good morning to them, the person that smiled at them, the person that thanked them? It's like those sorts of things, those go a long way, and it should never be your incentive to go into business class. But if I go on Tuesday and they say we're going to bump you to business class, I ain't going to say no.
Exactly. No,
I'm not going to turn around and go, do you know what, not today. I'll be like, no, bye.
I was so looking forward to being squeezed in.
Yes. I'm so looking forward to being in cattle class.
Cattle class.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But I've got a long flight ahead of me. 11 hours and 3 hours.
11 and 3. Oh my god.
I stop off in Shanghai. So I'm flying Air China from Gatwick Airport to Shanghai, and then 3 hour stopover in Shanghai, and then 3 hour flight from Shanghai to Tokyo. So I arrive Wednesday afternoon.
How do you feel about that? Do you like a long flight?
I don't mind. So you can go direct, which is 14 hours. I'd much rather have the stopover because I get the long leg of the flight out in one go. I get to take a breather. I get to have some food because of my dietary requirements. It's not always good for me on a flight because I don't have that many options.
Right.
Then the second leg of the flight, it's a shorter journey. So how I plan flights out is I plan it out of how many things I've got to watch. So I always plan ahead. So movies and such that have just come out, I don't watch any of them until I fly.
Yeah.
Because I've got 11 hours of my life that I can do sweet FA. So in that time frame, I've literally got nothing but time. So how can I use that time well? Because I can't sleep on a flight. So I use that opportunity to watch the movies that I had interested in my backlog. I could be like, right, okay, that's out, let's watch that. That's out, let's watch that. That's out, let's watch that. And that's what I do to get through it. But I can't sleep on a flight. Not even an 11-hour flight. I'm there, beady eyes. I can't sleep.
You could squeeze in 4 Harry Potter films.
I could. That was a temptation. I was actually really tempted to download, because I don't know what streaming platform they're on, but most of them allow you to do it offline now, that you can watch them offline. And do it that way round. Or alternatively, I just buy the compilation, because I saw it on Blu-ray. It wasn't very expensive at all. And then just take the Blu-ray versions, rip them to digital, and then just watch them.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's incredible that you choose the and your reasons are totally understandable. But I always like to, when I go on the plane and the plane lands, I want to go off the plane and stay off the plane. I do not want to sit around and wait for the next plane, and that kills me. If I'm off, I'm off. Yeah.
I think as well, it comes down to budget. So originally, when I was on your stream and I was booking the flight, and it was £1,800, that was a direct flight, but it was flying into central Tokyo and then staying in central Tokyo, which I'd never done before. And of course, a deal as good as that got snapped up. And so, of course, it then threw me out and said, nope, it's gone. So going back and looking again, I saved £800 by having a couple of hours in Shanghai, a country I've never been to before. So I don't see that as a loss. I see that as a win. I get to experience a new culture for a couple of hours. Even if it's in their airport, it doesn't matter. You've got their food, you've got the culture there. Just for a few hours, you just get to say, I'm on the soil of a different country.
You could walk out. You could walk out the airport for like an hour, couldn't you?
And just go back in. Long stopovers you can. Once you go through, depending on your flight type, you can leave. And some airports have like outside areas that you can like hang about in, like a balcony area and such. Yeah, because the thing is as well, for me, my holiday begins the moment I leave my house. So the flight I include into my holiday. So I make myself as comfortable as I want on the plane. I plan all of what I want to do on the plane, because to me, it's part of my holiday. So and I always allow myself a long stopover, which is again what people don't want, long stopovers, like yourself, Nicole. They don't want to sit around for hours. I do, because my flight is considerably cheaper as a result. And if it gets delayed by an hour, I've still got 3 hours. If it gets delayed by 2 hours, I've still got 2 hours. So I've allowed myself the time so that when I get my smaller flight, I've got less journey to go. And that's how I work it. And I've done that for the past almost 10 years. I've only ever flew direct once, and it was with BA, and it was horrible. So I much prefer to break up the flight.
I will have to think about it, because I never.
So this is the thing. I look at it as another opportunity to explore another culture, even for a few hours. I did that in Italy. I did that. Do you know, I've never stopped over in Germany. I've stopped over in France, Italy, the Netherlands. Where else have I stopped over? So I did. I did Amsterdam. I did Helsinki. I've done Paris. Rome. So I've stopped over in a lot of European countries, but never Germany. So I don't know if we do a leg that touches down in Germany en route.
Could be. Yeah.
But yeah, and for me, it's a case of you know, just for that little space of time, you get to experience, because obviously all the people working in the airport are, most of the time, they're native to the country you're landing in. So you get to absorb a new culture.
Right. I think one of the reasons why I don't like it is I want to cut the journey as short as possible, because one of the things that you mentioned before, I suffer from it extremely. I get motion sickness just by going on an elevator. On an elevator, it's such a short journey. I can do it without medication. When I go on a plane or on a train, I need my medication. And my problem is that the medication that I found that works really brilliantly is Dramamine. And I can take 2 dosages. And the first one lasts for about 6 hours. Then I can take the second one. So I have a stretch of time of 12 hours. And that is really not long. So
it's also anxiety as well, because I remember I used to have it that bad as a kid. I used to be sick, and I think I've said this before, but I was sick before I even got into the vehicle, so I worked myself up massively. But it's almost like the fear of being sick. Do you ever like think, Nicole, before you go on a long journey somewhere, like you got the thought of, I'm going to be sick, I'm going to be sick, I'm going to be sick, and it's horrible. I'll tell you what, I almost was sick in the summer. I tried virtual reality for the first time.
Oh god!
Oh, it's horrific. I tried some virtual reality games, absolutely fine, but I was doing a driving game. I did a couple of rounds.
I got the same nausea feeling from it as well, doing one.
It was horrific, and I had to just go outside, get some fresh air, because I don't want to be sick everywhere.
Right.
And it was awful.
Yeah. So I bought the I bought the PlayStation VR for my PS4 console, and I bought that, and I bought it because I was persuaded by someone at work. They went, "Oh my gosh, you've got to try this," because there was a gangland game from a London gang style game that you could play, where you could essentially, you know, jump up and shoot people, etc. And I thought, that sounds the most amazing thing ever. Like, it's a virtual reality kind of, you're in this place doing all of this. And it was amazing. But as Chris said, it warns you that you will get nausea. You will get nausea and you will feel sick, because your brain knows you're not there. But at the same time, it doesn't, because it's absorbing you in what you see. But it also knows you're not there. There was one of the games takes you underwater in a cage, and so you explore around. It's beautiful. Like, you get to see everything around you, and honestly, it's phenomenal, the graphics and how it kind of envelops you, and it's so easy to kind of, you know, forget where you are almost. And you're in this cage, and you're going down into the depths, and there's a shark that's swimming around you, and then the shark knocks into the side of the cage, and you jump out of your skin, and you're generally scared.
Right.
So you've gone nowhere. Like, you're still exactly where you are. You're 100% safe. You know, in the back of your mind, you are absolutely fine. But in that moment, you are like, a shark just bumped into me. This shark is going to jump and take a big chunk out of me.
Right.
And it's like, so you've got that thing. And I think it's the same thing with traveling long distances, because if you think about when you're on a train and such, people think of trains as, it's just literally just a straight road. No, it's not. It's not. Realistically, you're doing that. And of course, you know, it's the suspension is obviously stopping part of that, or whatever there is in place to kind of stop literally from bouncing around. So and also the speed you're going at as well. Like, if you think how fast trains go past or how trains fly by, people are in there. You know, I don't know if we're necessarily designed as human beings to travel at that speed. That's why it makes us feel a bit like, oh, but who knows? But the wristbands that I wear I swear by. I do not get 1 ounce of motion sickness or nausea with them.
Yeah.
And they look like a sports band.
Do they have something, a plastic dot somewhere?
They have a half ball that presses on this point here.
Yeah.
And it sends a signal that says that you're okay and that you're not. It kind of blocks the nausea feeling. It's a trick. It's like a placebo effect that it tells the brain that you're not moving.
Yeah.
And it kind of almost blocks the signal that says I'm moving around, and it kind of tricks the brain into thinking you're not.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for everybody, and there's an element of placebo,
Yeah.
but it works for me, and I'm absolutely fine with it.
Right.
It doesn't work for my brother. My brother hated them, absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
But for me, it works perfectly.
Right. I'm not sure if my medication works or for me or in general, because it's over-the-counter medication. I always buy it when I'm in America. For me, it works. Now I'm kind of addicted to it. Whenever I travel, I feel that I need it. For many, many years, I just traveled, and I was kind of proud of it. For all the time that I traveled without medication, it was so strange. It felt like my body shut down. I was on ferries. It's just whenever I started to feel sick, I fell asleep. And I thought that's brilliant. It was awkward as well, especially if you travel with other people. And mid-sentence, Nicole just leans back and falls asleep.
Have you tried the bands? Have you given them a go?
I don't think I've tried them, but I remember that when I moved to this apartment, that I found a plastic box and it had wristbands in it, rather small ones with a dot, and I thought, I take it with me. I have no idea what stuff I have. Now that's what they are for.
Because if the next time that they're doing something that you would normally take the medication for, try the bands.
Yeah.
And if you get the same effect afterwards, then you can kind of, even if it's, every other time you wear the bands instead of the medication, because actually the bands don't cost anything going forward. And plus it's one less thing that's in your system. And so, and
it would free me time-wise, because now, for example, I fly from Frankfurt. What I now do is I go to Frankfurt, I check into the hotel and sleep there, because otherwise the train to Frankfurt takes me 3 hours. Then you have to be there for 3 hours ahead of time. So before I enter the plane itself, 6 hours of my journey are at the minimum already gone. And then I'm flying for 10 hours. But I theoretically have only 12 hours. And even if that would be stretched to 12 hours, then I'm at the airport in America. From there, I have to travel by car or somewhere to the actual place that I'm going. So I'm easily 16 hours on my feet. And my medication only lasts for 12.
Yeah. And that's it. So the bands I've got, I've actually got them. Let me get them for you and I'll show you them. They're amazing. Yeah. They are amazing.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Oh, hi, Mikey, thank you very much for joining us.
Hey,
and Big Nate as well.
Hey, Nate. And Mateus. Hey, Mateus.
Mateus. Hi there.
So yeah, they just look like these, and they are literally, they're like us. I don't know if you had them in Germany, but we have them in the UK. Sweatbands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you essentially just put them on your wrist, and you just put them on the wrist and make sure the ball portion is just pressed up against the large vein in the center.
Yeah.
Like that. When you travel, and you just wear it like that, and that's it, and you forget about it. And that's it for you. Just that's the one thing you do before your flight, and that's it. You forget about it, and then when you arrive at your destination, you remove it, and you're done. No medication.
Right.
Very convenient, that isn't it?
Yeah. 100%.
Brilliant.
And they give you the leaflet and such to read through. It tells you all about it and sort of says that it's Prevents and relieves nausea related to transport, whether it's car, boat, or plane. They are a natural and effective solution without medication and no side effects.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
So that's it.
Yeah.
So, and of course that, see, Nate says his wife wears the bands like that also. These are amazing. They're not very expensive.
Right.
And they replace the need for any medication. And you can keep them in your bag.
Yeah.
So anytime you're going somewhere, you've always got them on you.
Right.
And that's it. There's nothing in there. There's no chemical.
Yeah.
It's just a little half ball, and it just presses up against that there.
Right.
And then it just blocks the brain signal from saying you're moving.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. That's clever, isn't it?
It is very clever.
And it gives
They are
you
brilliant.
so much flexibility. Because one of the things, for example, when I went to Chicago this year, there were two reasons why I wanted to be in the hotel of the conventions. One, I just wanted to pop down and be there and wanted to go to the room back without any effort. The other one was when there were plans, and I imagine someone telling, okay, we want to go to dinner. I didn't want to tell. Well, you tell me now, give me 30 minutes. My medication needs to kick in before I can. Oh my goodness.
And that would free you up, because then you could be like, perfect, give me 2 moments. So we're going by car. Right, bear with me a moment. Let me get my bands on. And then you're good to go.
Yeah.
And no one is going to say to you, what are you wearing? No
exactly.
one will care.
Yeah. And I would have to disclose it anyway. So nowadays I don't drink alcohol anyway. But in general, when I take medication, may it be over the counter or not, I definitely do not mix it with alcohol. And so often people told me, but you don't have to drive anymore. Why don't you drink? And I tell them, guys, I took medication. Let's mix it with alcohol. What can go wrong here?
The thing is the alcohol culture is kind of, I mean, medically I can't, but I wasn't a huge drinker anyway in my life anyway. But medically I can't now for the rest of my life. So for me, it literally is my get out of jail free card for telling people that I don't want to, which we shouldn't have a stigma anyway. If you say I am not a drinker, it shouldn't be, oh, but just one. It's like, well, no. That's like saying, am I on a substance? But just one. No, if I say I'm not, it shouldn't be met with, why don't you just have the one? It should be, okay, perfect.
Absolutely. I was telling somebody the other day, somebody who likes a drink, and they was asking me what I drink. And I just, so if I was like going out, what would I have? And I would have half my glass of lemonade and the other half beer. And it was like, really? Would you really have that drink? It's called a shandy.
Yeah.
And but that's what I'd have, because I don't drink at all. I don't get drunk or anything like that. I have one or two drinks. And that's that. Yeah. I don't like the feeling of being drunk. Actually, some people don't even like the feeling of being hungover, which all of us would be like that. But I actually don't like the feeling of being drunk as well as hungover. Hate it.
Right.
I'm happy to just drink. I'm happy just to drink what I do drink. My favorite cocktail in the world is green tea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
With a lemon.
Green tea.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I like mulled wine at Christmas, and sometimes I have like hot cider with a little.
Yeah, but as you know, when they're all heated up, the alcohol's burnt out of them. Like essentially, you're just drinking the essence of the item. There's no alcohol in there because it's all being burnt out of it.
Be careful. If you go to a German Christmas market and you are drinking hot beverages, quite a lot of them have alcohol in quite large quantities. So if you feel drunk, the alcohol did not burn.
I just looked for TLAC. TLAC asked the question. There's lots of different nausea bands. Which brand do I use? The one I use is, I don't know if you have it where you are, but in the UK we have a place called Tiger. And they're called Flying Tiger in other countries. But in essence, they're the same as all the ones. I just had to look on Amazon for you, TLAC. They're the same as everywhere. That basically, as long as they have this ball on the inside of the band, you're absolutely fine. That is the bit you're paying for. And the ones on Amazon that I can see, every single one of them have them. Some of them call them acupuncture wristbands. It's the same thing, because acupuncture, in a nutshell, is just applying stuff onto pressure points, and so this is just a constant pressure onto the thing. But any of them will be fine. They do the same job.
Brilliant. I really
literally they are a couple of euro.
Yeah.
Don't spend a lot of money on them. They're just a couple of euro.
Yeah.
But get the ones that are fabric. Don't buy the ones that are Velcro, because you've got to wear them for long periods of time, so you want it to be comfortable.
Yeah, right. But that's really brilliant, because the people that I messaged, because going to America is not really cheap, and now I have reasons to go to America. But before, whenever someone went to America, like, can you bring me something and send it to me? I felt like a drug addict. Like, can you yeah.
When I visited Canada, I had the same thing. So basically, long story short, when I went over to Canada, some of my medication that I'm prescribed got confiscated, because in Canada they're very strict about what you could bring in. So they took away. So I brought over a box of my migraine medication and 2 more. And the 2 more was for the final day, because the medication that I had was only let me up to the day before. So exactly the same. I made sure that it was in the blister, same thing, everything. They confiscated it. So I went 1 day without my medication. When I was in Canada, one of my friends said to me, "Do you want me to get you some?" And I was like, but you can't. You can't prescribe medication. You can't machine that. I didn't want to ask how, but I felt really seedy. Like, I don't want to. I just suffer.
And that
like,
is
where are you getting it from? Is it legit? Am I going to be sick?
Right, exactly. But that is really annoying that custom does that, because when I travel,
flying to America and Canada, it's the worst.
Yeah, but if I would bring a whole suitcase of it, I could understand that they tell me, okay, you are staying here for 10 days. You have now for the next 5 years. Okay, you are dealing, lady, you are dealing. But I am paranoid. So if I went to somewhere for 2 weeks, I have always at least double the amount of medication with me, because I think to myself, what if there is a hurricane, or I cannot leave the country anymore? I need my medication.
Let's take too much, then very little.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's the culture we have. It's better to have more than less. But when you're traveling, it's like they say you should only take the amount that you need to take. Now, I know that they're relaxing things a bit more. Like, I think in the UK, I don't know if it's happened in Germany, but in the UK, they're relaxing the liquids rule in certain airports, to say that you don't have to worry about only carrying 100 ml worth of liquid in your hand luggage now, which is a pain in the ass to begin with. Like, it's like, I've got to measure out this to 100 mils, or spend 3 times the amount of the full size portion to get a little one, which is just daylight robbery. So for me, it was a case of, I would reluctantly decant everything into those little bottles, put it through the thing to get it to go through, and not take the box. And then I thought, sod it. I was just like, I'll just buy it at the destination. And then for the last 2 years, I haven't taken anything with me apart from my medication, because it's like I'm not going to the Sahara Desert. When I get there, I can buy shampoo, I can buy a toothbrush, I can buy toothpaste, I can buy mouthwash. I could buy it all there. I just go to the supermarket. Everyone lives in that country, must buy their stuff from somewhere. Because I just think, well, I don't have to bother with it all, because it's like, otherwise you have to faff about with doing all these little bottles and decant things into jars. I'm like, I just
Yeah.
don't. It's a waste of money because then
Yeah,
you
I
have
know.
to. Yeah. So I just buy everything at a destination because I think about on a flight. The only thing that I will take with me on the flight, if it's a long haul flight, so short haul going into Europe, I don't bother with anything. Long haul, I would take a toothbrush, toothpaste, and mouthwash so that I can freshen my mouth up because I'm going to be on the plane for that long. After
Yeah.
food, I want to be able to freshen up. That's
Yeah.
it. And a pack of. I buy the from Primark the cheap wipes, makeup removal wipes and things that kind of freshen my face up because I don't want things like that to freshen you up. And then when I get there, that's it. That's all I take on a long haul flight.
Yeah.
So it's just like I can buy everything else when I'm there. Like, you know, you get to go into the supermarket, you get to see all the brands that you've never seen before, and it's like, oh, let's try that. When am I ever going to get the opportunity to try this? You know, try that.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I'm the opposite. I take everything with me. Who knows? Then they don't have it. No one washes. I fly to America. I figure out that no one washes their hair over there. Then.
And yet they'll say, you and Liz will be like, oh, this shampoo's amazing. Oh, yeah, I'll use that too. Well, then they sell it over there. You could buy
it. Right.
Oh. Oh. The thing is, though, everyone travels differently, and we should never, you know, you should do things how you do it, and keep doing it the way you do it, because if that is your coping mechanism to have the things that you know and trust with you, to know that where you're going, you'll always have those. That is absolutely fine. For me, the only things that I take in my hand luggage is the bare essentials that I need for the flight.
Right.
The shampoo and stuff that I take, medicated shampoo that I have to have, I take in my main luggage bag that goes in the hold.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, I definitely would be very upset if someone would take away my stuff. Like, no, I would shame myself.
My shampoo, no.
I threw away or I left all my shampoo and all my things in Chicago, because on my way everything fit. On my way back, not so much. So I had to choose. Either I bring back Lego or I bring back my shampoo and shower and everything. And I thought, well, the other stuff I can buy again at home. Lego, not so much.
What I tend to do, again, this is a Lego stream, but friends, we're gonna seem to be talking about flying tips.
We haven't spoken about Lego. Oh, we did. Oh no, we did. Minute 3.
Yeah, minute that counts. That
does count.
Yeah, we didn't say Lego every minute.
Yeah,
we said Lego at some point. We spoke about it. So when I fly, I always pack half the suitcase. I take half the amount of clothes that I need.
Yeah.
And then I take travel wash with me. Not travel wash for me. Travel wash for my clothes.
And not travel wash. Travel wash. We do not wash Trevor. We
don't wash. Just have a Trevor in there. It's like, come on, scrub time. No. Travel wash. And you could buy it in the UK. It's like £3 for a. It's about the same size as a toothpaste tube.
Yeah.
And literally, all you do is when you're in the hotel. If your hotel doesn't have a laundrette built in, which the one I'm going to does, so I don't need to do this. You literally fill up the sink with tepid water, so warm water, hot, slightly hot to the touch. You add in the gel, a couple of squirts of gel into it, and mix it up, and it makes essentially hand wash. And you hand wash your clothes, hang them over the shower rail to dry. Next day, everything's all dry, and you've got your next 5 days worth of clothes.
Yeah.
And then you do that the day before you go, because then when you pack your clothes, you then don't have to wash your clothes when you come home. You can literally put them back in, and you don't have to then have like a bag of dirty laundry. You can bring back all of your clothes clean.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Half the bag, because then you've got the other half of stage. So when I go on Tuesday, half my suitcase is my stuff, if that. The other half is completely empty for stuff I'm going to buy when I'm there.
Wow.
Because I already know now that I'll fill that.
Yeah.
So rather than take a bag's worth of stuff and not be able to bring everything back, I'll take half of the amount of. So I'm going for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll take a week's worth of clothes.
Yeah.
Essentials, the underbits, your undies and your socks. I take a couple more days worth as overflow just in case something happens.
Right.
But t-shirts and things,
Yeah.
I'm not in the arid desert. If I need a t-shirt and something happens, there are shops to buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It'll probably be overpriced, but I can buy a t-shirt if I need to.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I have to start packing as well. So yeah.
And that's the thing I tell to friends. It's just like, and it keeps the cost down as well. Like if you think about, if you book, so me and my brother, we went to Mallorca for a week just with under the seat luggage.
Wow. That
for a whole
brilliant.
week.
Yeah.
And we only packed half our suitcases.
Yeah. Wow.
And we were fine. We were all inclusive in the resort. We were fine. We washed our clothes.
Yeah.
We just washed our clothes. And it meant that we didn't have to pay for luggage. So literally, we arrived at destination. We already had our bags. We were gone.
Yeah. Right.
No stress. No stress at all.
Yeah. That is brilliant.
I should have a travel channel. That's next.
Yeah.
When Art travels.
Right. That would be amazing. Oh. And definitely, because we had a couple of messages about drinking. It's really the number of times that people try to talk me into drinking alcohol, and I always wonder, because the people that I mix with, they are generally good people, and I wonder then when I have these arguments, that I think to myself, only that because I don't drink doesn't mean that you can't drink. And your drink does not get better by me joining in and drinking.
Yeah,
enjoy
exactly.
your wine, beer, whatever it is. It's
spot on.
Yeah, 100%. The thing for me is that as I've got older, I enjoy far more the interactions with friends than the drinking with friends. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to, and again, this isn't a dig at anyone that drinks alcohol at all, but I want to remember those nights. And those of us that know, if you've drunk enough to the point where you've drunk so far that you don't remember things, who doesn't want to remember when they've had a lovely time? Why do I want to pay excessive amounts of money to then forget what I've done?
And feel like crap.
Yeah, and feel like crap the next morning. And then have to go through a detox to get all of that crap out my system. No. Save the money, enjoy the interaction, have a laugh and a joke. And that's the thing, when I go to events, like my leaving do for the workplace I left, they were so sweet. They bought a non-alcoholic wine so we could all have a toast, and I had something to toast with, which was non-alcoholic.
That's
good.
So friends will support you in it.
Right.
And if people say to you, you've got to drink, you've got to drink, you've got to drink. Hey, Mav, you've got to drink, you've got to drink, you've got to drink. Nah.
Right.
No, of course not. No.
Yeah.
That would just say to me, no, I'm even more not going to now.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I wish I would be able to communicate better, because if it's a real, true friend, you theoretically should be able to tell, okay, buddy, I heard that now once, twice, third time, last warning. If you keep coming back on it, I really have to question whether we are really good friends.
Yeah.
You are reaching into an area, accept my decision, and otherwise I can't spend time with you, because I'm not going to spend the whole evening arguing whether I drink or not.
Yeah.
It's true. I just seen T-Let raised a good point of saying, and I think again it touches upon the travel side of things. He says that preparing for travel ahead of time calms his anxiety. 100%.
Yeah.
Because whenever you are going traveling, you are going to a destination, you're flying on an airplane, you are going to a new area. You know, I've never been to Shanghai before. You're naturally anxious and nervous. And I always pay for my seat allocations because my anxiety when I fly means that I have to be in an aisle seat. I don't want to be in the middle of people. I want to be able to get out of my seat at any point because I know that if I need to use the bathroom, I don't want to have to disturb someone who's sleeping, make me nervous to get out of the seat, because then I'm going to not want to leave my seat. So all the preparations I do ahead of time to prepare for the travel is to do exactly what Tila said, and that is to calm the anxiety. So I know in my brain everything is okay. I'm doing everything as I should do. Because it can, you know, there's so many different factors that can bring about stress. And airports are stressful places. Then that, you know, you've got to go through all the rigmarole of security, then passport control, then all of these things you've got to go through. And if you're prepared for it, then at least you give yourself the best chance to go. There's no chance I've forgotten my passport. There's no chance I've forgotten my boarding pass. I print out my boarding passes, even though I can quite easily print them out at the airport. I print them out. I print out confirmations of my. I print a duplicate page of my passport. I keep that on me at all times in case my passport goes missing. And I've got a picture of my passport page so they can see that I am who I am. I do all of that all ahead of time, and I have my insurance documents on me at all time. I carry everything with me everywhere for that anxiety side of things, because, you know, much like most of us, I really suffer with anxiety when it comes to doing certain things. Like it will go tenfold. So anything that I can do to make me feel better, and for me that is preparing and kind of, you know, getting planned ahead of the game. Definitely.
I'm the same.
But I'm pleased that preparing calms your anxiety, because once you're at your destination and you get to enjoy your holiday, it just feels so much better.
Exactly.
Trevor Wash.
Trevor,
I knew Trevor would pick up on that.
We found merch for Trevor.
We don't need a stop motion Trevor of Trevor Wash. We're fine. Not for YouTube, I think, my friend. Might need to be another platform.
See, available from all good outlets. I love it. Very cool.
Pepsi Max is amazing.
Yeah.
It's
sugar. I never really have any sugar anyway, but it's better than having sugar.
Pepsi. Oh, look at that. Hi, Sam. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, Sam.
A good pint, honestly, a pint of Pepsi Max with ice. Oh, amazing. That's me set for an evening. Like, I could just sit there and just... But the same orange juice and lemonade for me, and then I just go on to ice water normally. Just a pint of water with ice, and I am absolutely in my element. Like, I'm fine.
Me too.
Dealing with a person that is drunk and says and acts in a way that's totally disrespectful. That person forgets, but the person it's aimed at doesn't. Exactly. When all those defenses are down, when that alcohol is in someone's system and their barriers are dropped, sometimes it's not always the nice sides of people you see, and they won't remember it, but the people that are on the receiving end of it do. So that is a really good point to say as well. You know, alcohol doesn't have it's not all nice sides. There are not so nice sides. Because, you know, when we keep our defenses up and barriers up, sometimes it is because otherwise we could be inappropriate in what we say. If there's nothing stopping us from saying something and alcohol dulls that down, you could end up saying something.
Right. Oh my goodness. Hello, hello.
So one thing I was looking at is the poly bag that I built, Draco in the Forbidden Forest, which is an awesome little poly bag, and I love the little Draco. It looks a lot like the Dreams treehouse for me.
It's the same colours, isn't it?
Yeah, similar colours. I think if you took elements of the Dream stuff off that tree, you could essentially have a giant Forbidden Forest tree from Dreams in the Forbidden Forest.
That's true.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
It's close to buying that because it was in game. It was £40 or was it 45?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Chris, it's the most amazing set ever. It's so good.
I like the big blue pieces. They look cool.
Yeah. You get the bright blue leaves and then the tree limb pieces in blue, and then the kind of swordy pieces in the trans blue. They're amazing. Such a good set.
Yeah.
Definitely. It is one of my favourite Dream sets. And the turtle van. I love the little turtle van. That's so cute.
Oh, I don't have the van yet.
Do you plan to get it?
Probably not. I saw it so many times discounted and I never bought it. Probably now that the next wave is out.
Oh yeah. They've already released set numbers for next year for Dreams? There's loads
At least
of
it's
sets.
continuing. It's very popular.
It is.
I think, wasn't it Shy that said it's very rare that things see past season 2? Like the second season of stuff or the second wave of stuff is normally either the killer. If you get a third wave of things, then you know that it's successful. Because obviously Lego plans so far ahead.
Yeah.
Even if it's like with video, they had wave 2, even though video performed really badly, they already had a second wave of it. They obviously pulled that short as quick as they could.
Yeah.
So wave 1 and wave 2 of sets is normally going to be a absolute foregone conclusion. But your wave 3,
I think in a couple of years they'll have a set that's like Ninjago City Gardens equivalent. No question, they'll have a £300 set.
Yeah,
it's sad if that's the rhythm, cause then I think the way how they did it with video, it was so unfortunate because I could imagine that it would have been different if the sets in itself were the ones the first wave and then the figures in the second wave. You got the very, very expensive figures because the little cubes, I think they were €20 and they were really expensive. And then with the second wave, the actual sets came, which were okay-ish price-wise, and then they were really discounted, and then it was dead.
The thing is that, you know, when you essentially cast your line out into the ocean and you find something and you catch something, it's either going to be something really good or something really bad, and you're never really going to know until you test the water to see if there's good in it. And because Lego are always 2 years ahead, so you know, the concept of video would have been 2 years before we even saw light of it, so they would have already been planning it. And I can't remember which stream I was on when I was talking about it, but I think we've reached, because everything's 2 years prior. If you think about where we are now, 2 years prior we were starting to come out of lockdown.
Yeah.
When those sets were all coming out 2 years ago, we were in lockdown, where there was more of a fan base of people that had, you know, more disposable income because they weren't going anywhere. They had time, which is so precious to build these things. So there was probably more of a market for those sorts of things. You know, kids couldn't go anywhere, so those themes that are brilliant that kids could interact with at home, they had the opportunity to do it. So they probably signed those deals with Universal and said, look, let's get this going. And then, of course, 2 years on from then, when it was coming out, people are like, you know, the ship sailed. It's already gone.
Yeah.
Is anybody watching Rebuild the Galaxy yet?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Nor have I, but I'm going to. I'm really looking forward to this one. This could be another little sub theme for Star Wars. I'm really looking forward to it. Just give us some wacky, like completely flipped upside down sets. That just screams uniqueness.
Wow.
And I think that's the beauty of it as well. I think because you can literally take something, and it was even said that Lego are poking fun at Star Wars themselves. Like they've been given the freedom to poke fun at lore of Star Wars. And so by doing that, they've been given free reign to essentially make anything they want. That's why I'm such a fan of the Marvel What If as well, because they did the same thing. They go in directions. It doesn't matter. It's why the Doctor Who genre has gone on for over 50 years, because you could just redo bits and pieces over again differently, because you don't have any boundary to stop you. An alternate universe, you can have, you can have Jar Jar being Darth Jar Jar. You can have Bounty Hunter C-3PO. You can have these characters that never existed, but you can create them and go, off you go. Jedi Darth Vader. You can have all of these things that would never have been in the films, but Lego are like, well, if we do What If, we can. So essentially, where the Galaxy is the Star Wars What If, which is amazing. And as Chris said, there's so much I can do with it. You've got so much you can tap into. Like, that is the future, not direct tie-ins to things that we've actually interacted with, but go off the beaten track and do different things.
Right.
Trevor did ask, when will we see pictures of the new Winter Village set, and what do we think of it? It comes out October, so it should be any day really. I said at the beginning of the stream, the barge is being revealed this Tuesday, so I think it'd be after that. It could even be it could be right at the end of September. I mean, Burrow, that was revealed far too late, but I think it could be any day now, and it's going to be Santa's post office. That's what it's going to be. Santa's post office is meant to have a hot air balloon in it or something.
Oh, that's a buy. That's a buy. Like, how cool is that? I bought the Winter Village set with the tram, and I just loved it so much.
See, that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's my favorite too. I loved it. It's so good. So I think now I've got place to display it. I can have a Winter Village display.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind that, because I think the buildings in that are 6 studs deep, if I'm correct. But I don't mind, shops being that sort of deep and so on. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's too cramped." I think it's too cozy. I do believe in not everything has to be massive.
No,
it does the job. It's my favorite. It was the Santa's Visit, which was the blue one, but I liked the one that included the tram.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's a smaller set, so up against a wall, it doesn't take up much space on the shelf, so you can have that scene playing out. And actually, if you've got a building and you don't intend to take it off that display, you're never really going to see. You're not going to see in it to know. So if it's 6 studs deep, if you do go close enough to look in, there's still detail in there.
Yeah,
but it's just enough that makes the set. Because we got 2 full buildings with the snow decoration. We got that little fence and lamppost build, which was amazing with all the snow detail in that, and we got the tram as well, and the figures. Like, it was so cool. Like, that set's amazing.
And the thing is, they went they went a few years making one building. I think it was the gingerbread house. They made Santa's Visit, that blue house, and then they had the Alf's workshop. So they made a lot of sets that was just committed to one build. So it was nice that they actually went and did something different. 2 buildings and a tram. I think that's better.
Yeah, I agree. The tram to me is the best tram we've ever had. The build of that tram is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love it. But yeah, a post office sounds amazing. It sounds so cool. You've got all the letters to Santa in there stacking up. That's so cute.
Yeah, right. Ah, yeah, I passed one. On the one with the tram, I didn't buy. I bought last year's one, but haven't built it yet.
Is that the chalet?
Yeah, right.
It was, wasn't it? I like that one. That was a good one. That reminded me of the I don't know why. It must be because it's in the music bit. One of my favourite Christmas songs is Wham! Last Christmas, and don't they go into like a chalet in that video?
Yeah.
I like that one. That's a good one.
And it's nice that I love it when a set can ignite a memory as well. There's something that's close to you, because then that set means so much more. Like you can like, draw something from it.
Right.
And for me, it's the warmth of Christmas. The Christmas shop, going into the town, and going and doing the Christmas shopping and finding stuff for your close family, like going and doing those bits and pieces, and going into the 15 shops to find out what you can get that one person that is so difficult to buy for, and you've got the wrapping paper, and you've got all the bits and pieces, and you're struggling with the bags. Oh, it's all part of it. Love it. Love it. It's it's not a good Christmas shop if you're not trying to wrestle with the wrapping paper and the 5 other places you've gone to, that the bags start to fan out as you're trying to carry them all.
Right.
One Christmas set I'd love to see get made, and I think it was a Lego idea set at one point, and that was It's a Wonderful Life. I think it was a Lego set ideas, and they used grey, white, black bricks because it's a black and white film, and they used the house. They built the house that the guy moves into with his wife, and that's meant to be the best Christmas movie ever made. It's I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a set based on a black and white film.
Exactly. We saw it with Steamboat Willie. We know that Lego do it. We know they make a monochrome set that has no devoid of color because it's based on a black and white film. I love that. Imagine having that in your winter village, and having a monochrome building to kind of show your winter village through time. You've got the modern side of it, and then you've got the older side of it. It's so good. Like the thought of having a whole host of different things. And this is the thing. This is why Lego can do so much. And when we had the PMQ on London Calling, one of the things that we were asked, because we didn't get to know about it till just before the beginning, because when that comes around, the first thing that came to my mind was the books, the storybooks, having an open storybook. And we saw it with Charles Dickens, and the scene in there, and it was like that. I have that set, and it's amazing. Like it's so beautiful. It's like just a little encapsulated scene, and I think those are so cool as well, because imagine winter scenes of those, or Christmas movies encapsulated in a VHS. Open VHS case, and in there you've got a little scene,
right?
Something like that. That sparks the memories that make you smile. Because Christmas movies do make you smile. I know people go, "Oh, not Christmas." Christmas is amazing time of year because it's all about the warmth and the value of being together, and it just promotes you've got all of the bright colors, the lights, everything is jolly and bright, and it's cold outside but it's warm inside type of thing, and everyone's just getting nice and cozy, and you get to spend time, have good food, and just enjoy time together. And it's a time I love. Like Christmas dinner for me is I take the thing, it's just like I do it, like I do everything, I do the whole lot, and that's my thing to do, because it means a lot to be able to provide food for the whole family and see them enjoy their food. That to me is Christmas. Because, everyone is just, and it's not Christmas if you don't have an argument or two, but it's like you put everyone in the same room opposite, bicker, but it's fun. It's fun. It's nice, and to be able to spend time together. It's just a lovely time of year. And it's all nice and jolly.
Right. Did I think captured it perfectly. Bribery, alcohol, travel, anxiety, Christmas. We had everything covered, and there was even Lego mixed in.
That was Lego.
Yeah. Right.
I did build dreams. I did build a little dream spider.
Hey.
So we got our little dreams, little spider, and then we have Z Blob. It comes in the poly bag as well.
Wait, Mark. Worst host ever. No.
Okay. No. Okay, so we have we'll start with Z Blob. Little Z Blob with the goo over his head.
Very
His
cool.
little figure. Then we have Bunchu.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
Super duper cute. And then we have
Spidey.
A cute spider.
Right.
Does that one scare you, Nicole?
No, that one I can accept.
I can make it derpy if you like.
Yeah. Oh.
It's got an upside down eye. There you go. It's derpy.
Oh, I'm staring right into my soul here. Put it down.
Oh.
His eyes were like really staring at me there.
Yeah, it's just like you. If you don't love me, you're going to now. And then, then I had the two Ninjago figs.
I really like the yellow one. I something about
so
yellow minifigures I like.
So cool.
I didn't know there was a yellow ninja. And then we got the enemy one, which is in the earth blue, which is amazing. The print is just so good on these figures.
Yeah,
right.
It's amazing. Yeah, right. So that was me. That's what I did today. See, we brought it back to Lego. We are a Lego stream.
Right.
It'd be really good. Well, we can't go on without mentioning. I sent this to you, Mark, as well as you, Nicole, but I don't think you've got my message. And that was the Animal Crossing boxes. They were revealed today. And
1 second, Trevor. We are really looking forward to your Christmas stop motion. And thank you very much for being with us and have a great week.
Thanks, Trevor.
Hey, yeah, take care, Trevor. Thank you.
See you, mate. Have a good week. Lego part. Oh, I know mine. The one that makes a massive difference.
Nicole, do you know yours?
Yeah, I think my most favorite one is the what's the wait.
I love how you can reach it without looking.
Wait, but I'm strangling myself.
Please don't strangle yourself.
Yeah, don't. I want this to turn into a snuff stream.
Yeah, oh my god. We don't want to imagine. There's just me and Chris sitting here like, Nicole.
I wanted to take out the whole drawer, but it's so full, it does not want to come out. But it's basically this thingy.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
I love
the hinge brick, the floppy hinge.
Yeah. Either as brick form or as plate form, because you can do so much with it. Either open stuff up or I'm just getting weird angles.
Yeah, I don't think that piece was used in the Burrow. No, I don't think it was. I didn't come across it because you put them together, don't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Put them. I didn't even know that even in a plate form, you can take them apart. I once took them apart by accident. And I thought, I broke it. And I thought, oh no, it's meant to be.
You can take them apart.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part is, and it still counts. Surely it still counts. That is a torso.
Yeah,
I love a torso.
It's a piece.
Yeah,
it's a piece, definitely.
Especially nude. But I'll tell you what also come in the set, and you get a spare one as well. I'm not sure if it's new, but you get a printed plug socket.
Oh wait!
Oh my gosh, I want that.
You get two of them. So cool. One obviously is in there, and you get a spare one.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's incredible.
This will be reused quite a bit, I think, in the future.
We hope so.
And I wonder if, because obviously for us in the UK, tick, that's because that's our plug socket. But I wonder if they'll release variants in the EU, because I suppose the Burrow is based in, because I'm guessing it's all based in the UK, hence the plug socket. So
that reminds me, I need to pack the different the adapter.
the EU charger.
Right.
So the piece, I love that piece, by the way, Chris. I hope that goes on Bricks and Pieces because I want to get some.
Oh, absolutely. I think the reason why it was used, it's on a shelf in Arthur and Molly's bedroom. So obviously Arthur's fascinated by Muggles.
Yeah.
So you got the tiny telephone box in here, and then you got a few other Muggle pieces. So that's just a plug socket on his shelf. So I think he's just fascinated by the plug socket that we use.
Yeah.
So cool. That is amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Lego are doing different things, because normally Lego have tended to steer clear of real world things that are tangible in the world. They've kind of made their own variations of it.
Yeah.
But something as very specific as a UK plug socket, that's amazing. Right. Mine is a really, I said it on the stream today, but my favorite piece is the leaf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The three-fingered leaf piece, I think its official name is. So versatile. You can do so much with this. And it comes in so many different colors. And you can use it as decoration on buildings. You can use it as foliage decoration. You can make all sorts of things out of it. I've seen people make flowers using multiples in a circle. You can make ornate detailing with it. You can do so much with it.
In the Aragog set, you get a sand blue one.
Now I might need to get that because I want all the color leaves.
Yeah.
That's on discount. That's an £18 set.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
I think it's discounted now.
Because I have the original Aragog set. The original.
The one with got like swords for legs.
Yes, the one.
Yeah, I know.
The one that comes with Harry and Ron, and you get the Aragog's lair, proper lair, and it comes with spider webs, and it comes with like a really light green spider, and like rock build up, and I think it's old grey. I think it is before we got the new colorings, and it's got like the spider webs and everything. But it's a really cool set, and I actually quite liked the spider in that. And I'm not a spider fan, but I was impressed with how realistic Aragog's body and legs looked.
Yeah.
See, that is too realistic for me.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Too realistic.
Oh my god.
The face.
The
face.
I know.
It's
so good. I think it's one of the sets, one of my favorite sets of the year.
Mm.
Well, outside the big ones, of course.
But I interrupted you about Animal Crossing.
Mm.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yes. So we've had the reveal of the 3 sets. So we knew the 3 sets were coming. We'd seen them shown off at a games show, so we knew they existed.
Yeah.
But we've got the Stargazing with Celeste box revealed, which is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It depicts a night scene on the box with the shooting stars with Celeste, and then the other 2 sets that we get the Able Sisters, where we get Mabel. And then the box of that, it just looks amazing. And the characters, the side characters are shown on the boxes. So you've got Mabel, you've got Leaf, and you've got Celeste. So it's so cool. And
good price.
They're good prices. They're really good prices. Like, we really are getting, considering their IP, they're very good prices. And they're new molds. So Leaf is a new mold and Mabel is a new mold as well. So new head molds for the characters. And I think no, we haven't. I think they use. I don't know the name of the Animal Crossing character that is with Leaf, but they are, I think, the same mold as Marshall. I think I've not looked too much into that one.
Yeah.
But you get Leaf from Halves Island. So you get Halves Island represented with Leaf and his caravan, with him selling his stuff. So Halves Island has got representation, Nicole, which I know you were looking forward to seeing representation of Halves Island. So yeah, we've got the Halves Island representation with Leaf, which is amazing. And the sets are so cool. They all look amazing.
January the 1st is going to be massive. Yes. You've got the Harry Potter sets come out in January. You got Animal Crossing. Imagine if they dump the modular, if they go back to tradition and they release it in January. I don't think they will.
I hope I can predict something that hopefully will come true next year. I like to believe, since we get 1/2 of the Sable Sisters, or 1/3 now, we had for Dodos only 50%. We keep on getting 50% of what we actually need. Either the characters come with other sets, but I like to believe that we are getting a CMF series.
That's what we hope. We're for that, aren't we, Chris? We're all for CMF.
Absolutely. I'm predicting that it's going to be the case. It needs it. 100%. Because I don't know Animal Crossing as well as you guys do, but I come across a stream. Was it stream? No, it wasn't. It was, I think it was Ash and Flash, I think it was. And he was saying it seems like with each of the sets they're bringing out, there's one character that is missing.
They're holding off on characters on purpose, and that is, we've seen them do that before with Marvel, where they've held off specific characters, and it's one of two things. I think we will get a CMF line. I think it will be next year. We will get it, and it'll be the next wave of Animal Crossing. Won't be sets. It will be the CMF line.
Yeah, because I'm predicting Animal Crossing, and I'm going to have a stab in the dark with this one. I'm predicting a Simpsons Series 3.
Oh, without a douut.
To go with Krusty Burger.
I think it's been low-key confirmed that the license for The Simpsons has been Lego have extended it. So I think they're going to be utilising it again. It'll be stupid not to, because so many people missed out on the Simpsons line. They got the CMFs, but they didn't get the Quickie Mart. They didn't get the Simpsons house. So they've only had the figures. They haven't had anything to go with them. So I think that's going to be perfect. I think that would be good. I think we are going to see, my prediction for Animal Crossing is we will get the CMF line in the first half, and we will get one more set in the second half, and that will be the museum. And I think that is where we will get Blavers finally. And I think that in the CMF line we are going to get Brewster, but I think we're going to get an alternate variant of Brewster in the museum.
Because
I think we're going to get him in his explorer attire in the CMF line, and I think we're going to get him in his barista attire in the museum.
That is amazing. That's fantastic.
But if Timmy and Tommy don't come in that CMF line, I'm going to Billund, I'm going to find the designers, and I'm going to shake them. And I'm going to be like, Timmy and Tommy, when? You are really, really starting to irritate a lot of Animal Crossing fans, because you are deciding to omit the main characters because we can see that Nook's Cranny is the Nook's Cranny from New Horizons. And we all know by playing the game that though it's Nook's Cranny, Nook does not run it. It is run by Timmy and Tommy. Nook is not the shopkeeper in that one. Previous games, yes. This one, no. So they're being they're kind of being a bit naughty with that, but we know why. We know it's probably because they're holding back. They want to extend it out. They want to prolong the lifespan of this wave for years to come.
And I think that's perfect move by Lego because you got all these. By the time the CMF series comes out, what there'll be like 10 sets. I think if anybody out there hasn't bought any sets, obviously CMF series, good cheap way of getting good figures. As soon as people,
that's what they've done with D&D, Chris. We've seen it, haven't we?
And they're going to go and get they want the other figures. You know, and D&D that had a discount, didn't it, this week? Or was it
big
Argos?
discount? 20%. In Argos at the moment, it's 20% off the D&D set. It's down from $320 to $280.
Wow!
So it's already got a 20% reduction on it. It might be a bit less than that actually.
Was it Mitty Bricks? Or was it? No, it wasn't Salex. It was Mitty Bricks. I think it was. I bought it. I saw it today.
Yeah, and the thing is that set obviously comes with a lot of D&D references, but your figures go right with it. Like you can integrate them into it and you can tell stories with it. I think that Lego are very clever with what they're doing, because by releasing the big set, they capture the fans, and the CMF line captures the kind of people who are on the fence. And as we all know, once you get bitten by the bug of a theme, you want to then look into it. Now, some of us obviously can be like, that is a no, but for those of us, for the majority of Lego fans that might have, some disposable income, that they're like, oh, do you know what, I actually quite like that set, and then they drop the cost of that. Lego's got another sale of that big set. And the CMF line is, because CMFs are done not through Lego, they're done by they subcontract them out. There's like different factories that do CMFs. That's why there's some variations sometimes. It's done in multiple different locations. The CMFs are done. I think that's true, or still the case. I remember they did a documentary on it, and they spoke about the fact that CMFs are not done. They are authorized by Lego, and everything's obviously Lego, but they do them in several different locations, which is why there's some variances about what people what a box contains. Like when they were going back random and they weren't always guaranteed to have X, Y, and Z in it, you would find that there were different waves of different bags that were done by different factories before you could tell where they all come from. It was different places, and the printing, it was a bit like the base plates. The base plates were weren't done by Lego. They were done elsewhere and then sold.
There is some news at the moment. So 1st of October, the Santa's Post Office will come out. So 1,400.
Gosh, not long now. 2,000 people.
For £90, so same price, isn't it? £90.
Yeah, same price every year, £90.
So 1,000.
Thumbs up to them for keeping it at that price. To be honest, with inflation, they've kept it.
1,440 pieces, which I think is quite good.
That's really good. Yeah.
Includes 3 owls and Santa. It is going to be Santa's Post Office. Gold and dark green hot air balloon, and a blue/orange post office with snowy roofs and a Christmas tree.
I love the fact they've changed the colouring to not be a traditional post office colour. They've gone a bit different with it. That's so clever. Okay.
The barge will be 77 centimeters long and will have an interior.
Nice.
Which is interesting, and the minifigures are great. And that anybody hasn't don't know this news, they will include a slave layer, so it will have Leia with bikini.
77 centimeters. That's
UCS barge.
Wow.
And there's a gift with purchase. Lego Friends River Camping Adventure.
I've seen that one.
Spends on dreams. £90 spends on Dreams, Animal Crossing, Ninjago, City and Friends. Series 27 of CMF series. The characters have been confirmed for that.
Oh, okay.
Wolfpack Beastmaster.
Oh.
Pirate Quartermaster.
Oh, pirate fans are gonna be happy.
Steampunk Inventor.
Yes, we're getting steampunk in Lego. Yes, finally.
Pterodactyl Costume Fan.
Ooh, to go with our Triceratops fan. Nice.
Bogeyman.
Okay.
Jetpack Racer. Here's one for Fab and Mark. Cat Lover.
For all of us, including you, Chris, cat lover.
Absolutely. Longboarder.
Okay.
Astronomer Kid.
Space fans are going to love that.
Cupid.
Okay.
Interesting. Hamster costume fan. And plush toy collector.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
There we go.
We could be getting an exclusive plush toy.
Yeah. They'd bring a plush toy out, wouldn't they? They sometimes bring out these soft
toy
toys,
of the plush toy collector.
So yeah.
What a nice line. It's like ticking lots of boxes of different themes, like they're tipping into space. I wonder how the space figs were actually received, because obviously the hype of them for space fans was amazing, because they got, you got the classic space torso, but I don't know. Like, I know Carrie and Ian weren't fans of them. They collected them for the sake of it, but they didn't care for them. And I think it was a very niche area. I've got them. I quite like them, but I don't know if there's something that I would necessarily willingly go out and buy again, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That makes sense.
What's going to be your what you tip to be your favorite, Chris? Which one do you think is going to be the low-key one that people are going to want?
Well, out of the minifigures?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. See. Let's have a look. I need to look at that list again. I think it's between two.
Okay.
I think it's going to be between the Wolfpack Beastmaster. Wolfpack, because that's got links with Castle, hasn't it?
Yeah, Wolfpack is the faction in Castle, which people absolutely love. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be between that and Pirate Quartermaster, Pirate Lovers.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the top two. I can't see Pterodactyl and Hamsters, because you get these characters that dress up as animals, don't you? Sometimes, but yeah, my favorite would be Cat Lover. I think, but yeah, I think it's between Wolfpack
New cat molds. New cat molds. Please do cat molds.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nicole? What's your tip to be the top one?
It's hard to tell. I want to say Cat Lover, but Cat Lover is really it's either a really cute figure with a cat, or it is dressed up as a cat. It could be questionable. Yeah.
A Catwoman wannabe.
Right.
I think for me, it's going to be. I would agree with Chris. I think the Wolfpack is going to be the desirable one, because I think Castle fans are going to go absolutely crazy for Wolfpack. Because if the torso is going to have the emblem, then they're going to want to army build them. I want the Cat Lover. Definitely 100%. I think that's so cute. I think that the costume people, they always the ones that left over. Like, there are some people that like them. I don't hate them. I think they're quite fun, but God, they've been done to death now. I think, it's wow, another costume person. Like, I think we've pretty much got vegetables. We've got, most of the safari now. We've got dinosaurs now, dragons, like.
Yeah.
Okay. We've had a crayon. We've had costume people, like so many costume people. We've had Lego dressed as Lego, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be a point where we go, no costume characters now.
Right.
If you had to bring out three, you was in charge of bringing out 3 CMF series, and people in the chat, you can give us your ideas as well. CMF series. If you had to bring 3, I'll give you 3 because it's hard to choose one.
Okay, so I think if I was going to go IP, obviously we know that we'd all say Animal Crossing, but let's assume that is coming. I would say that first of all. I think we really, really would benefit from a Dreams CMF line, and I think a Dreams CMF line that goes into a new kind of almost like taking some of the characters and giving them something different. So I think that would be really cool to see some of the side characters from the show, some alternate looks for the characters, some of the evil characters. Like, you can only get them in those sets. It'll be really good to get them in a CMF line. I would love for them to break the walls and do a mini doll CMF line. For the love of God, please do a mini doll CMF line. You are long overdue. I think that they need to do that, and I think that they should base it. I think first of all, do it on the Disney line. Start with the Disney line, like do a Disney mini doll line. You can have it with alternate princesses, the princes, some side characters like the Sultan. We've been waiting for all of these characters for literal years. You don't just have to do the princesses. Disney is much more than just princesses. Let's look at mini dolls and do some of the other characters that we haven't got yet. Some of the characters, you've got the tiny ones, you've got the larger mini doll characters. So that's number 2. And then I think the third one is, I think we really need to have a Marvel Comic Pacific CMF line.
Martin's drooling. Yeah. What about you, Nicole?
I think Star Wars would be very grateful if they had their own CMFs.
Yeah, I think
those boxes would sell.
Yeah.
That's one.
Mm-hmm. I really would like to have another Harry Potter one. I know we already have 2, so it's not fair for Star Wars not to get any, and we get the 3rd one.
Did we get 2? Because we got a Fantastic Beasts one, didn't we?
We got 2 series.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember 2. Right. Yeah, and yeah. So Harry Potter, Star Wars, and then the 3rd one for TJ, we get him a Ninjago one.
Good shout.
Ninjago CMF. So outside of the movie this time, actual canon Ninjago CMF. That's cool.
Yeah. So my 3. I would say, of course, if Harry Potter Series 3 came out, I'm not going to complain. However, but because the theme is so successful, like Star Wars, they won't do that, because they can just bring out these beautiful minifigures, inexpensive sets.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I wouldn't want a minifigure coming out, because that would limit the chance of that set coming out. So let's say, for example, if they wanted to bring out, they did anyway with Bellatrix in Prisoner of Azkaban, I wouldn't want that minifigure, and I'd want that minifigure in a Prisoner of Azkaban set, an actual Azkaban prison. I think Star Wars do deserve one, because they've never had one. They've had Lego over the years, but Harry Potter and Star Wars,
yeah,
absolutely. I to be honest, I wouldn't want that Harry Potter one, only because I want those minifigures in these sets. But the 3 I would choose is Animal Crossing, and I think Lego would make a good move business wise, because then it will mean that other people would then want to buy all the sets to get all the other figures. And my 2 other CMF series ideas would be for that same reason. You've got lots of Sonic sets, Sonic CMF series.
Oh yes.
I knew you'd like that.
Yes, finally. All those characters we need.
I know. Imagine. And Harry, Animal Crossing and Sonic, I think it's been greatly received. I don't think it's not on obviously a Harry Potter and Star Wars level, but so I think they will bring out these CMF series. And the last one, and it's one of my favorite films, and it's a shame you can't recreate the scenes from the beginning of this film, because you lack so many family members, and that is Home Alone. So you got the big house. So imagine like recreating that scene at the start where they're all running around. You got the grandparents, The dad you haven't got. You got some of the brothers. You ain't got Buzz. You know, the guy who delivers the pizza. You know, you could have all these characters, and if you wanted to, you could have the bird lady from number 2 if you wanted to. You know,
I think. Do you know what I would love to see? I think one of the pivotal moments to me in the Home Alone, and I think it might be a bit too out there, but the aeroplane scene when they realise.
Yeah.
Like the literal have the aeroplane with the family when they realise that moment when they realise and they know there's nothing that they can do at that moment in time. To be able to capture that moment again, it's quite niche, but to be able to get a kind of aeroplane that's not in City and Friends, just something that is kind of themed, that would be really cool. Even if it was a diorama, I think that would be quite cool.
It would work because it's easy. It's definitely 6 key characters not missing. So that's almost like half a CMF series. You've got to have another Kevin McAllister. You can get him what he wore when he was sent to the 3rd floor. You know, you can get a different Marv, right, where he's wearing the police outfit at the start.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also you can just have all these characters.
I think that's great. I think that's so cool.
And the set's out still, so it could push for sales.
Right.
This is it, and it's the perfect time for them if it's one of those sets that they're thinking of putting on the retirement kind of threshold for the next couple of years, having a CMF to clear the backlog of them out and then see the buzz. Because for me, CMFs are a marketing tool, in my opinion, to whether a theme can generate something of, you know, a resurgence. So if these Home Alone figures came out, for instance, and they were unanimously popular and there was a clear drive for it, then Lego know, let's make more. Because I think that, you know, the Home Alone set as itself, phenomenal build, the house, amazing. Like the intricacy that build has is just absolutely amazing. The little tiny little features. I think you've got a little race track with printed tiles in one of the rooms. Is it like a train track? Like things like that. Like those scenes that are just so cool to see in Lego form.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can have like 6 characters. You can have like the older sister that doesn't count correctly, and then Kevin gets caught. Caught behind, and you know, like I said, you can have Harry in his police uniform at the start, where he's just trying to get information about you know, where the family are going and so on. You know, you can even have like Marv of Sticky Bandits. You can have him like with his the tape he has around his hand.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a little bit different to the ones that we got in the actual set.
Yeah, and it also expands out the set that you've got, so you don't have to have the iron print on the face. You can have something a bit different.
Absolutely.
That's cool. So Mav says CMF series similar or like Lego Dimensions, different pop cultures, movie shows. That was really good. Like when they released Dimensions, they opened Pandora's box to kind of like, who thought we would ever get, you know, a kit, and we'd get Knight Rider, we would get Mission Impossible, we would get all of these figures. We never got anything apart from those figures. Like all of these like movie industries, we got, you know, obviously they got, you know, you got Ninjago and you got Batman and things we've seen in sets before, but we got the first Doctor Who figures in there that people went absolutely crazy for. You know, you had Doctor Who mixing with DC, mixing with Marvel, mixing with, you know, Tom Cruise, and mixing with the Hoff, and it's like all of this like jumbled into one. I think Lego Dimensions, it was an amazing concept. I just think it came at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But I would think a CMF line of like those little, if they can secure the license for just one thing and have that in there, would be really cool. Yeah. But I think we are low-key getting lots of pop references in the Pharrell set with those heads. I'm pretty sure those heads are, although they're meant to represent you, when you look at the film and you see all of the Lego figures that are in the film, so you've got Gwen Stefani, you've got Snoop Dogg, all of these pop icons. Those faces look awfully familiar to those figures. So, you know, maybe we'll get a pop star CMF line. Maybe it'll expand out into that. Maybe we will get a piece by piece CMF line with all of the different pop stars. Who knows? Who knows? Because if they've appeared in the film, it means that Lego have paid them, so their likeness is captured in Lego form. So, and it's not a character of them; it's actually them. So Gwen Stefani is in the film as a minifigure, and she's voicing herself as a minifigure. Therefore, they've obviously paid her for that. So they're not against paying artists to use them for, you know, I obviously know that the film probably had a massive budget, like a massive budget for them to be able to go, you know, let's pay you all to be in the film. But I like the idea, man. I think it'd be really cool to have, you know, a pop culture CMF line that doesn't necessarily have any rhyme or reason. You just have a whole bunch of figures. You know, a bit like the Wizard of Oz. Like, you know, we got the Wizard of Oz in the Lego Movie 2 sets. We just got a side. Yeah. Suddenly you've got Lego Movie 2, and then you've got Dorothy, and you've got the Tin Man, you've got the, you know, the Lion, you've got... It's just, where did that come from? But they're just in there. So it's not something Lego's against doing. But my favourite from the chat is T-Lex. A CMF series with animals.
Yeah.
An animal CMF line.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That needs to happen. Oh, animal packs.
Right.
Not many figures dressed up as animals, though.
No.
Right.
No.
Yeah. I absolutely love it.
Imagine having like 4 or 5 cat battle packs in these little packs. Open it up and you've got like... I would buy a box of them. I would be the cat guy with like a whole army of different kittens and cats.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would be a good CMS. Wow, I don't think it would be a Queen Amidala CMS series because she wears so many dresses.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. Like taking that fig and just being like, yes, this is Queen Amidala. People like going crazy and just like, let's do what we did to Rex and put them in a set that's really affordable now.
Yeah.
So let's just release a Queen Amidala line. That is a clever idea. Because subconsciously they're ticking the box of Star Wars CMFs, but they're doing it in a way that kind of still allows them to do, as you said, Chris, to put those figures in the sets.
Absolutely.
But Queen Amidala, because we only got one. She's only ever been in one set. Is that right?
Yeah. You've had your Padme,
or
1 or 2 before, but Queen Amidala specifically just 1, and that's just a ridiculous price.
And that's the figure that is ridiculous.
It's that molded dress piece, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's like a brand. There's like the hair as well.
Yeah. So we've seen Lego do it before. You know, Captain Rex. I saw this Captain Rex set reduced to £8, and I was like, oh dear. The amount of poor Star Wars fans that are probably so upset that that figure.
There's a conversation. I think we've had this conversation before, Nicole. I think it's like when you've got like an expensive set, and if it comes with exclusive figures, should it reappear in a cheaper set? And obviously, the Captain Rex is a perfect example of that. Going from like a £500 set to, what was it? I don't know. Was it £12-13 set microfighter? And I said, if you've got 2 minifigures like you had in the Venator, I think they should stay in that set. But if you've got like a UCS set that has 18 minifigures in, then I don't mind so much if like 4 or 5 of them sort of reappeared in cheaper sets, because I'd like that exclusive feel. I like that feeling of
course
it's a minifigure that you can only get in this set. It just makes it a little bit more special.
I agree. I think it would have been what they should have done, and I think I can't remember what stream I was on that I said a similar thing, and I think a few others might have said it, is Rex should have been a different Rex. Something different, enough different to still give the exclusivity that Rex needed in that set to then say for those that bought it to say I have this, but for those that want a Rex to play in their collection, they still get a variation of Captain Rex, but it is a different variation, and that variation is one that, you know, is more, I don't know if it's a simpler print, so that the people still get their Rex, but the premium Rex is still locked down to that major set. Because I think for me, when I collect figures, I don't care the figure I get. Like if I'm collecting the Galaxy, if I get a Rocket Raccoon, I don't care if Rocket is in his Endgame attire or if Rocket is in his Galaxy 3 attire. If I've got a Rocket Raccoon I can put on the shelf next to the characters and create the scene, then as far as I'm concerned, I've got my figure. So I'm not fussed. So if I was a Star Wars fan and that Rex in that little pack with the little microchip, if that Rex was a alternative print Rex, maybe it didn't have arm printing, maybe it didn't have leg printing, maybe it had a simpler design to it, something that kind of still gave credit to those that spent on the huge set, but for those that just want a Rex to create a scene, they have the option to have it.
But
that would be a good alternative, because theoretically, before you mentioned it, I would have thought it's the healthy thing to do, to put the Rex in a cheap set as well.
Yeah.
Because by that, you kind of bring a better approach to buying sets or buying Lego. Because if you pay 800 euros for one figure, there is something strange going on. Your major point should be buying the Lego with or without Rex. And
See, the thing is, I might go against myself here. So it's like, well, if Event has got 2 minifigures, I think they should both be exclusives. There's only 2. However, I don't want the Venator. I've got no connection to the Venator whatsoever. I love my minifigures, and that minifigure was fantastic, oozed with printing. So it's like, bring that in a cheaper set, because that means I can then get it.
Yes.
But it's sort of like, I can't have it both ways in a way, because it's like, well, I've got my, UCS sets like Hogwarts Express, for example, and I hate it when a minifigure goes into a magazine. Yeah. Which a few of them have done. But
it's the moral ground versus, it's finding that kind of equilibrium between having the figure and having that figure. If we are the one who has the expensive set with the exclusive figure, that we get aggrieved when it is in a cheaper set. But if we are on the opposite end of the scale and we want that figure and we see it in a cheaper set, we're going to incline to go, yes, put it in a cheaper set. But then you're always going to be on one side of the fence or the other. So it's one of those ones where I completely get what you're saying. Depending on what side of the fence you are at the time of the conversation that you're having about the debate, really lines where you're at. But for me, I've always been, if I want the figure, I don't mind which variation of the figure I get, as long as I can say I've got that figure now in my collection.
And I agree with Sam. I think what they should have done was because Rex has a unique head print, it's got like a bandage on. I don't know too much about the character. It's got something to do with a microchip or something. I don't know. Could be wrong. What they could have done was actually just change the head.
Yeah.
Could have
done something small like that. Like, to hardcore fans, it's enough of a thing to go, we acknowledge that this is a really nice figure that people have been asking for years. Therefore, I'm going to keep the exclusivity to the big set. But for those that want to add a Captain Rex to their collection, here's a Captain Rex that doesn't have the pauldron and has a different face. Maybe one face rather than 2. Maybe just a single face print.
Yeah.
Still a Rex. To those that want a Rex, they can have a Rex. But to put the exact same figure in it, it's kind of like, you've got those that are like, I get to have a Rex for £8 or £12. And then there's those that like, I paid, as you said, Nicole, no one should ever do it, but people did. People paid for that set just to get that figure, to say, my bragging rights is I have this figure now.
it's easy to spend that money as well, because I was like, when I got the Rex in the microfighter at full price. I just didn't want to wait for it. I wanted to get that figure.
No. You want to get it because you didn't know how popular it was going to be.
That minifigure I felt was worth the money of that microfighter, because that minifigure's value only about 3 or 4 months ago was sky high, and you could see it with people who bought the Venator. That for some reason, for some reason, we know exactly what the reason was. People like on the Facebook was trying to sell their minifigure because
but that is the unhealthy thing. Because what I did, for example, is, I have to admit it, when the Razor Quest, the first one, the PlayStation scale one, came out, one of the reasons for me to buy that ship was to have Mini Grogu. I enjoy the ship, and I do not need the UCS version because I'm so happy with the Play version. It's a full ship, great size for me. I love it. I do not regret that I bought it. But if I am honest to myself, one of the reasons why I bought it was Grogu. In the meantime, Grogu came so many times in all kinds of cheap sets. If really the only reason I would have had only to get Grogu, it would have been insane for a 3-cent piece to pay, I don't know, 120 or whatever the ship was back then. So I'm totally fine, because I made my peace with spending 120 euros for the ship. Even if I hated the ship, I have so many Star Wars ships that I ended up just disassembling because I bought it for the figures, and the ship is just not fun at all. But I need to make my peace with, I spent the money consciously, even if it's just for a figure. If it's otherwise, it's fine.
And we've all done it. We've all done it, Nicole. We've all bought a set for a specific thing. You know, we've all got different. What's quite nice about Lego communities, we all have different pools of areas that we have our thing in. You know, the Animal Crossing sets, like there are those sets. Like I bought them. They're amazing. The figures are amazing. That's the first thing I talk about, the figures. Would I have bought those sets if the builds were crap? Probably, because I wanted the figures. So a lot of people are in the same boat. They buy the sets for figures and the build. I've got the builds. They're all over there. There they are. They're all there. So I've still got them all. But if it was a CMF line, would I have bought any of those build-ins? I don't know, because the figures to me are what I wanted. And as for a lot of people, it's the same thing. Sonic sets. Chris, we love our Sonic. Those Sonic sets are amazing. The first thing we think of when we look at a set is it comes with this figure. It comes with this figure. It comes with this figure. Because the figure is the driving point of the sale as well. The build can be amazing, but if you know that that's the only way that you're going to get Supersonic in his gold form, you're going to be like, I want Supersonic.
Absolutely. And Lego pull it in a very fairly expensive set.
Yeah, because they know it's clever marketing, because as Lego fans, they know that a figure will drive the sale of a set. That's why they do it. That's why they put and that's what they're going to do with all of them. That's what they are going to do with all the themes coming out now, is they do the same thing. They will put the figure that you all want in the expensive set, because they know that you're going to buy that expensive set.
And they did it with Gringotts as well last year, because Bellatrix was a minifigure that came out in the previous Burrow, didn't have dress printing, and Bellatrix came out in the Battle of Hogwarts set, and I knew it wasn't going to have printing. Not when you got Gringotts, and I know the characters in there. Well, Hermione being Bellatrix, but that's sorry if that's a spoiler, Mark. It's not quite a spoiler, but you'll find out when you watch it.
Yeah.
And I just knew they were going to bring out a Bellatrix with a printed dress piece in the Gringotts, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, because you could see how Lego are doing it. You could see that. And that is why it's so baffling why Lego did the complete opposite with Rex. They didn't do the polar opposite with Rex. because you would have expected them to dumb down the printing on Rex to put them in the cheaper set, because that's what they've done for the figures before. So doing the polar opposite for Bellatrix, they did Bellatrix with a simpler print to say, oh, you've got a Bellatrix figure, that ticks the box. But for those Harry Potter super fans that want the full figure with the beautiful dress printing throughout, we'll put that in an expensive set. But then with Rex, they did the opposite. They gave an amazing print figure in an expensive set and then went sod it and put it in a cheap set. So
That
it's
was
like,
hilarious.
yeah. I mean, they probably did it for the lol. They probably did it to piss a lot of people off, let's be honest, because it's, or they probably did it because they didn't want the market to become so heavy on that figure being, pricing things too high because that figure was most desirable. I mean, they could clearly see there was a desire for the figure. But as we've learned, Lego doesn't care about if there's a desire for a fig. They'll do it in their own time, because how long have we been asking for certain figures? I'm sure you've got plenty of figures in Harry Potter that you have literally been begging for Lego to make, and they're going to do it, but it'll be done on their point. So,
absolutely. Yeah. And wait till next year when there's a £90 Sonic set with Super Shadow in it.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to buy the £90 set for Super Shadow. We'll enjoy the builds, but we'll have the figure. I mean, I love my Sonic theme. I've even got the Sonic build up behind the Animal Crossing ones. I've got the Ideas one. The Ideas one, love it. One of my favorite sets. Love. Beautiful set. Absolutely amazing set. Prints amazing. The whole thing spectacular. But if that was the only way to get Sonic, would I have bought that set just to get Sonic? Yes.
Yeah.
And I think with that, we should slowly start to wrap it up, because we are already quarter to your time, 10, 11.
Oh, we've gone over.
Yeah.
30, just by 36 minutes.
Oh, there you go. People who hung about got extra. See, we give you more.
You get chatting, isn't it? It's like Greg messaged me the other week, apologising for apologising, but yeah, sort of like, because his London calling stream's been going on for 4 hours, but when you get stuck to it and get down to it and you're having a good time, you lose track of time, don't you?
Oh gosh, yeah, you do. You do.
Exactly. Oh.
See, Mateus is like, is that Narcissa?
Yes. Yeah.
Narcissa will come out, obviously it has been confirmed, with Malfoy Manor January the 1st.
Mateus.
Malfoy Manor is coming out January the 1st. We don't have the minifigures in there yet, but it should come out with Narcissa Malfoy. And I'm happy with that. I'd rather have Narcissa come out in a Malfoy Manor set in the CMF series, because I get the Malfoy Manor with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gives you two reasons to get the set rather than buy the set and then get the figure along the line. Yeah.
It's going to be worth the 150 that it's predicted to be.
Unless we get in a play scale. Oh no, we already have the ropes. Madam
Malkin.
Yeah, because I thought in that set she goes with Draco as well into the shop.
Madam Malkin, you don't see in the film.
Isn't it that Narcissa and Malfoy go there to fit in the rope?
Madam Malkin's, no, you don't see her in the film.
Oh, okay, I
never see in the film.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That's one good thing about Harry Potter. They've made a couple of minifigures this year that's never been in the films.
Yeah.
That's so good, because they can they have a little bit of creativity with it. And the hope is that they would have 100% had to speak to the IP about it to go, we want to create a character that hasn't been depicted. So do we go more with, because they've not been depicted, they're relying, I'm guessing, on the books to source the character. So then you've got that blend of movie and book merging together to create the Lego Harry Potter universe, which is what I love that they're doing with Star Wars now. It's the Lego Star Wars universe, because things, Darth Jar Jar's now canon. In the Lego Star Wars universe, which includes the Star Wars universe we know and most of the Netflix shows and some of the expanded universe, there is a Darth Jar Jar now canon. Yeah. So the fact that there are now figure representations of characters in Harry Potter that never were depicted in a form that we saw with our eyes is amazing. That's so cool.
Right.
And it just means, and that's another reason why, as you said, Chris, Harry Potter's not going anywhere for any time soon, because they're going to keep expanding out on that, because you've literally got a world worth of stuff that you can release. You've got a whole alley worth of stuff that can come alongside Diagon Alley.
You'll hear some people say Lego run out of ideas. There isn't. Like it says, there's over 50 places they haven't done yet, and at the same time, 50 places. Blimey, that's how many years of Lego is that? And then they are going to upgrade and remake places that they've already done, and I hope they do that.
And I agree. I love it when they upgrade sets, because new pieces, you get new figures, new abilities to print in different ways. And we've seen it with, we look at Privet Drive. The Privet Drive that I've got is the original old style Privet Drive with the old light grey. And that build looked amazing with the column bricks, with the brick printing on, it looked amazing. We look at modern Privet Drive, looks really good. We look at the Ford Angular, we got that in how many different versions? Each one looks different, recognizable at the time, still is your Ford Angular, but we've gone time and time again, we've improved upon it and we've got different versions of it. I don't care if they re-release stuff. I think that with the pieces that we have, each year we get new pieces, and it just means that they can make improvements to stuff we've already got. And if they're going to do that and they're going to release it in a set with something that we haven't got, brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
Lego is Lego at the end of the day. If I don't like the other two Ford Angulars, I can piece them out and just keep the figures.
Yeah. Math Bricks made a good point as well about Barrador, because they didn't know what the interior, what was inside Barrador. So they had a lot of creative liberties, Lego, there to go and do what they wanted.
I think that's
brilliant.
I think that's amazing. Yeah. The fact that they took creative liberty and now that is canon, because there wasn't anything beforehand. Lego have made it canon what it looks like inside. So if they decided to expand on that in the future and looked into that and wanted to explore in Barrador in some form of factor in media, they now have an interior that is canon that they can run with.
Absolutely.
Very clever. Very clever.
Right. Okay.
Oh, a diorama Harry Potter set. Yes.
Yeah, never done them. They can do that. That's right new. Well, Hogwarts Express is a diorama. It's 4 in 1.
Would a Quidditch match work? Because you could have that would be quite cool as a diorama for a shelf.
They're in dire need of a new one. They're in dire need of one. They haven't had a proper one since 2018. And it was just one side. But they need a proper one with stands and so where you can put like loads of figures in to watch.
Because that's what people want.
I know. They will. I think they will do it.
A UCS Quidditch stadium.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That should be the next one, I think. It needs to be.
Okay. I think with that, we are going to wrap it up and look forward to it. Everyone, thank you so much for being with us. And we hope you have a wonderful week. And if you're in the US, a wonderful rest of the Sunday. Hope to see you soon. And until then, thank you so much. Send Fab your love and well wishes.
Bye, Fab.
Be good. Bye.
Bye. My hand's aching now.